Million McIntosh Stadium in Jackson, Wyoming, as we await week 0 here, high school football. And week 0 in Jackson means rivalry already. It's Teton, Jackson Timberwolves, Bronx for Jackson Hole Radio. I'm Jake Nichols alongside Marie Kane. We get her on special loan.
Yep.
But we're so lucky this one time, one and done. But yeah, great to have you back, Kane. She's on a broadcasting career that will no doubt take her to the likes of ESPN or somewhere big. Just remember the little people when you get there.
Oh, of course.
So, Kane, first thing, for those of you who don't know, Marie was in high school a year ago. Probably seems like, what, 10 years ago or a month
like
ago?
10.
It feels like a long time ago, right?
Just almost getting up on 2 years ago, which is crazy.
If you can get your brain back there, first thing I'd like to know is, and I know Star Valley is a legit rivalry because there's some animosity there. Is this a rivalry, Teton Jackson?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say, mostly because a lot of the time when I was in high school and we would play them, we would win. So it's kind of one of those situations where we're rivals based on location, but in the grand scheme of things, because we're not in the same state or the same conference, there's not much rivalry. I think the thing that makes it seem the most like a rivalry when you're at the games, any of them, football, basketball, is that you have a very big away crowd no matter where you are. So I think it makes the atmosphere more rivalry-esque.
Yeah, and rivalries, familiarity breeds rivalry, and there's certainly that here. These two teams really familiar with each other. A lot of these kids these families share jobs, whether you work over there or live here or one way or the other. It's right over the hill. It is another state, but the commute is a popular one. They're not far away. These communities are inextricably tied together no matter what. And it's a battle of I think there is a trophy.
Yeah, there is.
Right.
There's the Teton.
Okay, it's like the bronze boot in college football for the Wyoming Cowboys. Yeah, there is a trophy. So anytime you got a trophy, I guess we have to call it a rivalry.
Yes, I think it's more so like it's a rivalry, but they're not our rivals. If that makes sense. Because it's more so like Star Valley are the rivals.
Okay, yes.
But
that actually does make sense.
It's a fun way to kick it off. You know, there's a little bit of who's the better side of the Tetons, stuff like that. It's weird because I actually live over there now. So
you're one of them.
Oh, this is interesting.
Okay. Well, yeah, either side, you know what it also is for both coaches is a tune-up game. Obviously, we call week 0 in high school football. That means it's essentially a preseason game. This is not technically going to count on anybody's record, certainly not on your conference record. It shouldn't count on your overall record, but you'll see teams use it, especially if they win.
Yep,
They won't acknowledge this game if they lose, but it's a game that shouldn't be on anybody's season-ending schedule. It's not a real game, sort of a preseason game, but yet it sort of is real. And it's in that way, it's a good test for both teams because I think these teams are pretty fairly evenly matched. Marie, you talk about there was times when we were better and they took their lumps, and there's times where they've been good overall. The last how many years? The record's close.
Yeah, it goes back to 2004. Jackson's 9-10 all time, so they're losing.
Okay.
All time. But during my high school career, 2018 through 2021 would be the football seasons. We won 3 out of the 4 years.
Yeah, and those were 2 straight runner-up to state title games.
Both to Cody.
If not for those Cody Bronx, I know it. So yeah, there were years where we were dominant, and they had to take their hits. This will be an interesting. Well, also last year we had the subplot, and it's still there this year.
That's what I was
the coaching change. Yeah, the 2 Davids. What about that?
Yeah,
that's still a thing.
Yeah, I think that leads a lot also to the rivalry kind of post my high school career because David Joyce was our head coach while I was here, and then he moved over there. So now there's that on top of it where a lot of, I'm sure the coaches over here and the players over here are kind of like, oh, we got to beat his new team, that kind of stuff. So I think that leads a lot to that rivalry feeling as well.
Yeah, we talked to head coach David White, who's now in his 2nd year with the program, and I want to say I have some of his interview on on ready to go, but I don't think I do. I had some technical difficulties, and all big thanks to Target for helping me out on that one. But yeah, I don't have. But I remember what he said, and obviously he's feeling a little more comfortable this year.
Yeah.
Last year he was like thrown into it. He got the job. He was surprised to find out preseason in high school in Wyoming is like a couple weeks. Like he has camp. You put the pads on, and then you're playing game one. He couldn't believe it. He's like, wow, I wasn't even ready. So he's feeling a little more settled in. The playbook's a little bit expanded. We'll talk about what some of the things he wants to do with his personnel when we come back. Let's take our one quick break here in the pregame. You're enjoying you're enjoying Jackson Bronx football on KZ95, the Jackson Hole Radio Network. It's all brought to you by Town Square Inns of Jackson Hole, High Country Linen, Jackson Lumber, Healing Waters, Young Life of Jackson Hole.
Jackson Lumber.
Experience Jackson Hole like a local while staying at the Antler Inn, Elk Country Inn, Cowboy Village Resort, or 49er Inn and Suites. With the best entertainment, dining, shopping, bars, and brews all in walking distance, you'll never want to leave. Call 1-800-4-TETONS or find them on the web at townsquareinns.com.
Jackson Lumber, the board store, Jackson's oldest business and only true lumber yard in town. Jackson Lumber's hardware people are the best in the business, and they do it right the first time. Jackson Lumber works with people who make a living building, so the tools they sell are definitely the best hand tools and power tools available, with names like Vest Tool, Milwaukee, Makita, Skillsaw, Senco, Fine, and DeWalt. Jackson Lumber, the board store at 130 South Gromont. Call 733-6000, 733-6000.
You're watching and listening to live coverage of Jackson Hole High School sports on KZ95.
Back to William T. McIntosh Stadium as we await the start of this Week 0 game between the Teton Timberwolves of the Jackson Bronx. And the game within the game, obviously, is coaches who have flipped. One coach has changed his position anyway. Coach David Joyce now moves over the hill. He'll be working that Teton Timberwolves sideline, and he's got some horses to work with, and he told me especially to be watching out for his second-year quarterback, Jack Nelson, who was really good last year with his arms, with his legs. He's a handful, Nelson is. And then Thomas Roosevelt out of the backfield. Nelson's got a couple of big targets on the outside with Tyson Brown and Burke Nelson, both of them 6'4" and $180 or more. So that's going to create some matchup difficulties. Those are big guys on the outside. This team will run for the most part, but Nelson can throw, and he's got weapons. For the Jackson Bronx, it's going to be a first-year transfer quarterback in our first look at Harrison Ward. We know nothing about him, Marie. I don't know. We'll have to assess. We'll have to watch it. Supposedly he's got a big arm. We don't even know where he's from. Maybe South Dakota, maybe Iowa.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I mean, I haven't seen anyone else really play quarterback. When I was here, it was Sadler Smith back in the day.
Yeah, and
so I think it'll be interesting.
Difficult to replace Sadler Smith, but Thomas May is going to try. May was good 2 years ago as a returner, and he got in some games in the backfield in relief of Hassanek.
Yes.
And he had some wiggle to him, and he really looked decent last year, and then he got hurt, and then the other running back got hurt, and then things just went from bad to worse. But May should be pretty good, the senior running back for running attack. And from what we hear about Harrison Ward, he's got the arm. Coach White said it's going to be about how fast he wins the team over. And, I guess I always knew that as a quarterback. A quarterback is like the de facto captain.
Yep.
But if your team doesn't trust you in the huddle and doesn't play for you, you could have the greatest arm in the world. And he said, I want to see how fast this guy wins over the team.
Yeah,
That's
for
interesting.
Sure. I mean, team chemistry is one of the biggest things, especially at that quarterback position. Just being able to know how your receivers and running backs move and know what they're going to want to do. So I think it'll be interesting, especially as you mentioned earlier, having that short preseason in the grand scheme of the football world.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see.
Not long to get used to each other, develop any kind of a rhythm. Seth Brunner is going to be the main target for when Ward does want to throw. Brunner was pretty darn good last year as a scat back, slot receiver, whatever you want to call him. They just wanted to find ways to get him the ball. His favorite route, that little 8-yard slant, and we'll see how often that's there. By the time towards the end of the season last year, that became such a go-to pattern that the other teams were jumping that route, and it wasn't working anymore. But you can kind of mix that up with a little bit of Andrew Hanna, who now in his second year, he's a basketball guy. Marie, you know him from that, but last year he was just learning to play like tight end. And this year, coach said he's much more confident, much more aggressive, and they're going to put him on the outside occasionally, like down the sidelines. That's going to be a tough matchup for a corner. Can you imagine a 5'8" corner trying to cover 6'7" Andrew
it's not
Hanna?
I mean, even we talked about it all the time in the basketball world, but even in football too, having a guy like Andrew Hanna who is 6'7" and has enough of a presence on the football field to be able to, if you put Seb on one side and then him out on the other, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Either they're going to get it to Hanna and he's going to take it over your head and run it down, or Seb is going to break your ankles, for lack of a better word, and run it down the field. So
shifty, speedy Seb as you watch the Jackson Bronx take the field in their new uniforms, black and orange. The orange is back, that's for sure. We have been missing that.
It was black and gray when I was here. It's definitely, it reminds me a little bit of like the throwbacky style ones they used to wear with those striped socks.
I could see that, right? They're kind of looking like the old Cincinnati Bengals a little bit, but yeah, they got rocking the black and orange, and
I like it. I do like it. It's a little distracting too, which I feel like can always be somewhat beneficial, like a nice bright color right in front of your face.
They got some Hunter Blaze orange, I don't know if that'll bother Teton at all. Teton's in their road whites trimmed in red, and we're just about ready to get this underway. The Big O Tires scoreboard is our new sponsor for the scoreboard. Every time we mention the scoreboard, we'll try to remember that Big O Tires in the Kmart Plaza, I guess it's no longer the Kmart Plaza, the Target Plaza, offering up to 12 months interest-free, no down payment required, OAC, and they've got that big year guaranteed warranty everywhere you go, or Big O rather, everywhere you go. If you can find a Big O, they're going to back up the tires that you bought at Big O, and of course swap them out and do anything you need for free if you bought a Big O tire. So Big O scoreboard in effect, and I'll be interested. Our keys to the game, by the way, I put them together just so we had something, but I think Jackson's got to play clean. Everybody says that in week 0. Penalties, and turnovers, can't have them, can't do it. Disrupting defense, I think if you let Nelson and Roosevelt get in a rhythm over there on the Timberwolves side, they're going to just eat up yards and put up points. And then finally find intensity. We don't expect a big crowd in a week 0 game. School's not even back in session. So you got to build your own intensity, I think, if you're the Jackson Bronx. So as quick as they can find some passion, find some intensity, and be physical, and that's what Coach White said he wanted to see, especially a physical game. They have to manufacture that and come right out of the box doing it. We'll join the national anthem and get ready for the start of this one. excited to see football back. I know it still feels like we have summer to enjoy, and I'm going to wring every last drop out of this summer, but football season is here, I guess. There's nothing we could do about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best time of the games, is when it's still summer, but still football. It's
not
the best.
20 below, and
Yep. Yeah,
still
it's not
summer.
snowing on your homecoming like it was my sophomore year.
Is that right?
Yep.
Still
Sleeting.
summer, it's still football.
Yep. It's the best.
If you don't trademark that, I will. That's a good one. You see the
Maybe I will. There's the captains.
4 Jackson Broad captains going out to midfield, yes.
Yeah, it's Seb, Thomas May, Justin Castino, and I can't see the other number.
Castino Rio.
Probably, oh no, and Hannah. Interesting. I was expecting Ward to be out there, but
Can't miss Hannah, yeah.
I guess I should have known, by the way, that he's taller than every other person on the field.
6'7", 205 supposedly. Yeah, Justin Castino led this team in tackles last year. He is the one holdover from the defense. I won't say the one. Jack Barazay, you'll hear his name called a bunch. Also going to feature big on the defense, but the defense lost some players. The offense, obviously, the huge turnover from those state championship runner-up teams. Last year, it was like, who's on this team
That's
anymore?
how I felt. I mean, when they did senior night and our entire starting lineup was on the field, I was like, right, okay.
Uh-oh, next year's going to be really tough.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it was, there were times last year Jackson played better than I thought they would, with a lot of new faces. A lot of it was juniors that had played in the shadow of these of the seniors that were starters and didn't get many reps, but they were ready when they did. And then now even those kids have graduated. Owen Jansen did a great job at quarterback last year, and he's gone, so we'll have to see how the new guy works in, the new transfer.
And he is getting his ankles taped, so I wonder if that is why.
Is that good or bad?
I mean, it seems like it's just precautionary, so I think it's an all right thing. Doesn't seem like it's a problem.
Coin flip is finished, and Coach White is out there still trying to explain to the Zebras what he wants to do.
Oh, they're taking a picture.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, you want them all to pose. That's nice. Who's that, Nikki Six out there?
Who knows?
I can't tell who that is.
Me neither. Someone that seems important in some way, I guess.
Right. I don't know if he's got enough tats to be Nikki Six, but he's certainly drawn the attention. It might
He's taking
be.
pictures with everybody.
Right.
Who is that taking a picture with him? Is it
That's
Wiley?
Coach White with his arm around.
Oh. Interesting.
We're going to call him Nikki Six until we're told different. But I thought he was on tour, but maybe not.
Interesting. Maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't.
We're ready to kick it off. Whoever won the toss, it's going to be Jackson Bronx kicking off. There's also going to be a new kicker. Braden Hills wanted to concentrate fully on soccer, so he opted out. He would have been a great senior kicker option, but no more Hills, so this will be...
Yeah, let's...
I know Coach White told me who it was. I think it's Smock off the soccer team. Another kid off the soccer team.
Yeah, that's usually their go-to.
Could it be Justin Smock? Do we have him on our
I just can't see his
roster?
number.
I think it's 17, but I don't
think
see
so,
that on
too.
the roster either.
Yeah, me
But
neither.
I think I remember him telling me it was Smock. I'm not sure, but Jackson's ready to kick it off. They're moving right to left, wearing those home new black and oranges. And this boot will be taken at the 1-yard line, working to the far side. Got some blockers, turning it upfield to the 40, 45, 50 into Jackson territory, and finally spilled at the Jackson 37-yard line by Smock, I believe, the kicker. And a real good run to back there by Thomas Huseveld, and we're going to see a bunch of him today.
Yeah, that was definitely not what the Bronx were looking for right off the bat with, was that around like a 40, yard run.
That was
Somewhere
a
around
big
there?
run. They'll set up shop at the Jackson 36-yard line. 1st and 10 in the gun is Nelson. He'll track Roosevelt in motion. Now hands off to him. Roosevelt far side's got 5, 6, 10 first down and more inside the Jackson 25 to about the 23, and it's pretty easy going there. Student body left, a lot of blocking out in front of Roosevelt, who's big anyway.
Can't see that. That was a tackle by Cameron Kendall, it looks like.
1st and 10, and a give again to Thomas Roosevelt. This time he finds a little harder going on the right, off of right tackle, picks up about 4 to the 20.
I believe that was Castino on that tackle, getting those tackles in early this season.
Yeah, 2nd and 6 from the near side, going no huddle is the quarterback Jack Nelson working in the gun. Gets a snap, wants to fire immediately
Wide
left
open
side.
over there.
That's Roosevelt. He's upended. Good tackle there by Seb Brunner, but that's going to be near a 1st down and very close.
Yeah, they're going to need to watch Roosevelt. I think that's our,
Well, he's
from
touched
this
the
opening
ball
drive, that's
every time.
That's the key right now.
Jack Joyce in the backfield now with Nelson.
Yeah, probably going to
Roosevelt
run
lined
it here.
up wide on the right. It's Joyce gets the call, left side. 1st down where it was 1st and 10. He picks up about 5 or 6. So far, that offensive line of the Teton Timberwolves looking pretty dominant. Roosevelt still lined up in that right flanker spot. Jenkins in the backfield along with Nelson. Nelson hands off to Joyce. Oh, a little bobble there, and that's going to cost the T-Wolves some yardage. It was Brunner who, it was
I think it was Castino.
Rice Robinson, 50. Somebody pounced on that loose ball. Nelson lost the ball on the exchange with Joyce. That will happen in the early season where you've got plays where the quarterback might give it to you, might not, and neither player sometimes knows. Nelson wants to throw here, and he does. Wants
Out of
end
bounds.
zone incomplete. He was looking for Tyson Brown, his big wide receiver, thrown just a bit high. Actually, not a badly thrown ball, but Brown couldn't come down with it.
That was Cameron Kendall on the coverage for saving that touchdown, even though probably would have been out of bounds anyways.
3rd and long for Teton. Looking to throw. Nelson's pressure gets out of it. Now throws. End zone. Touchdown.
Looks like that was Waylon Cosby, possibly, with that touchdown.
Teton strikes
saw an
early
18.
as, they marched down the field, made it look pretty easy. Just the one bobble there, the one miscue. Other than that, Timberwolves looked pretty confident on that drive, capping it off with the touchdown pass. Nelson to, who'd you say?
I believe it was Cosby. I believe it was an 18.
Okay.
Couldn't quite. Oh,
That snap gets away, and so the extra point will fail there. And
well, at least there's that for this Jackson team.
so 6-0 in the early going. We'll stay here for the kickoff. Teton with the opening drive, move right down the field. Timberwolves. Nelson had to throw a couple times, but it was a whole lot of Thomas Roosevelt. He looks good to begin. Coach White over there coaching up his team, explained a few things that went wrong. I don't know it was so much blown coverage. It was just getting knocked off the ball early. Roosevelt had a lot of running room. And
For sure, he definitely did. I think also he's the type of player where if he gets it near the backfield and has space to start running, that's when he can become dangerous, whether he runs into coverage or not. So I feel like maybe guarding him a little bit closer might be
he picks up some momentum behind the line of scrimmage, and they found different ways to get him the ball, including, like you're saying, that quick screen where he was 5 yards back behind the line of scrimmage when he caught the pass, but then he gets rolling, and he is tough to bring down.
It'll be interesting. I feel like it'll be the battle of, Roosevelt and May or Brunner or somebody. I feel like it's going to be a pretty even matchup like you were talking about.
Yeah, it's May and Brunner back to receive this kick, both standing at their own 8-yard line. And ready to boot it is the Timberwolf kicker, Oswald Chavez. Signals that he's ready. And Jackson will get their first look at the football.
I am so excited to see this offense. I'm excited to see how it all comes together. Hopefully there's not too many disconnects between Ward and the receiving core. I feel like there won't be. I feel like they got it.
Well, they've got to respond now after an early quick score by Teton, 6-0, and there's the boot. It'll be taken by Brunner at about the 11. Seb lost the handle, ball's on the ground, but Jackson does recover. And right there, and just Johnny on the spot, was Noah McKinney, I believe, who picked up the loose change as Seb Brunner was concentrating on running and just kind of lost the handle when he got bumped.
Yep. I think that's one of those early season, hiccups type situation, remembering what it's like to play game time, running, receiving, and holding football.
You got a lot of things to worry about, yeah.
He did. Especially first kickoff of the season, coming to you, that kind of stuff. Our first look at Ward.
Harrison Ward in the shotgun, wants to throw on 1st and 10, has time, and now he's flushed from the pocket and will go down with a pickup of 3. He made the most out of what was nothing. He wanted to come near side to a receiver, but he just didn't feel it was open, so he tucked it and run and picked up 3, 2nd and 7. Jackson at their own 30-yard line. Those uniforms are so retro. You're right, Marie. It's almost like it's orange duct tape that makes the numbers.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Old-timey numbers.
Like, I almost feel like there are, kind of see-through-ish practice jerseys.
Right.
It's kind of what it feels like.
Ward in the shotgun, gives to May. May sidesteps, but gets away from a couple of tacklers.
Maybe a first down.
And is very close to a first down.
If not, it'll be 3rd and inches.
Joker Joyce came in from his safety spot. They will move the chain. So first down for Jackson on a quarterback keeper and a Thomas May run. And that was the kind of lateral movement May has come to be known for in the 3 years now I've been watching him. He can really move left to right, like laterally, quickly. 1 minute he's in your grasp, and the next minute, whoop, he's gone.
Yeah, he's always kind of had that about him.
Ward to throw, pocket breaks down, and he goes down. Sack made. First guy to get him was number 61, Gabe Kraft, the freshman. And a big loss for the Bronx.
Yeah, I feel like maybe on both ends a little bit, coming to a couple of those Roosevelt plays, the linemen are not totally in sync in Jackson. That was a pretty quick break for those Teton men to be able to break through our offensive line.
Yeah, that was very fast that they were on Ward. He had no chance.
Yep.
2nd and long now for the Bronx at their own 30. They got to get to the 48-yard line for a first down. Mays in the backfield with Ward.
Yeah, play action.
Ward wants to throw. He's got Hannah, incomplete. And Hannah, boy, you get a chance there to see how tall he is.
Yep.
And if he pulls that in, there's really nothing the defense can do about it. Joker Joyce is playing that deep safety. He's not going to be able to get up there and reach with Hannah, but that ball just a little bit high, even for Hannah, although...
Yeah, I can imagine he's semi-easy to overthrow almost. It was definitely catchable, but I feel like because he's so tall, you might give him a little bit more.
Throw it even higher.
Yeah, exactly.
3rd and long. Ward takes a high snap, ready to go. Wants
there we
to
go.
Got Hannah wide open. And a good hit by Joker Joyce.
I would call it
But it's a first down, and the chains move. Nice catch by Andrew Hannigan. Turned the ball. It made him wait just a little bit, but he made a nice grab, and it's at the 45-yard line of the T-Wolves. Jackson in Teton territory for the first time.
Yep, he was wide open down there. Ward just ran off quickly to talk to his coaches a little bit. interesting to see what they're wanting to play. But that was definitely, between those two plays, I would say that Hannah redeemed himself.
Yeah, definitely. That was a nice catch.
Yeah.
That second grab, 1st and 10 for the Bronx. Snap and the give, no fake. It's going to be a keeper by Ward, but there's nothing there. He's dragged down behind the line of scrimmage, loss of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 14 for the Bronx.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like an interesting matchup so far. I wonder if they're just trying to get in the rhythm of the new plays with Ward and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so early. They're just trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, we're, what, like a couple minutes into the first game of the season?
Yeah, and they're still trying to find their identity. You got one kid down at the bottom of your screen, number 4, yet to see him, but we're going to see a bunch of Cameron Kendall. Keep an eye on him as a receiver. Now in motion is Hannah, as Ward barks with a snap, gets it, flags fly, and there might have been some movement before the snap. And it's one of those things you hate to see early. We talked about playing clean, and that's not playing clean.
Nope. Looking like it was a false start on Jackson. I know there's saw a little confusion in Hannah's body language as he was coming into that kind of inner tight end position.
I don't know that Hannah's ever gone in motion like the whole time he was on the team last year. So, and I don't know that it was him. Hannah's lined up in that right slot now.
I don't think
you are.
Yeah, I don't think he was the one that false started, but
Ward gets a snap, tries to wiggle out of a decaying pocket, and is finally dragged down.
Yeah, I mean,
loss of a couple.
That pocket is not. It's not staying a pocket for him.
No, Rice Seth Stevens, the senior, I believe, was around the ankles of Ward. So 3rd and a long way for the Bronx. They were in Teton territory. Now they're backed up at their own 44. They got to get to the 35 of Teton. Yep. So you try to get it all here or get some anyway.
Yeah, I think you might as well just send your receivers and see what happens. See if you can get it out of there before the pocket seems to collapse.
Ward bobbles the snap and now picks it up, and again he's harassed, gets rid of it, fires, and it's incomplete in the direction of Cameron Kendall, who we were talking about. Really, that was again pressure, and again it was pressure from Seth Stevens, who has been in the backfield more than Thomas May for Jackson right now.
Yeah, exactly. Those linemen definitely need to be able to hold off that line, that collapsing pocket. Looking a little bit like my Chicago Bears last season.
I hear your Bears are going to look a lot better. They're playing my Bills coming up here.
Yeah, tomorrow. Fields to play a little bit. We'll see.
Punting unit is on. Hoosevelt's back to receive. They better make sure they get a hold of him. Short, high punt. Look out. Make sure it doesn't hit you if you're a Teton Timberwolf. It's going to take a Jackson bounce and come, or sorry, a Teton bounce and be called dead at the 44, it looks like. 1st and 10.
Yeah, I think
Teton.
The line is just going to need to be able to give Ward a little bit more time to be able to throw. I think that a lot of what's going on isn't necessarily due to him or due to him being a new player.
Yeah.
I think it's just he has no time in the backfield to be able to make something happen.
And the line play takes some time to gel. We expect that they'll get better. Hoosevelt split wide left along with Tyson Brown, both those on the left side. Snap, and the give is to Joyce coming near side. Joyce has about 4 before he's dragged out of bounds. Maybe give him 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the T-Wolves. Pretty good running combination when you got Hoosevelt and Jack Joyce.
Yep.
The coaches said, Jack Joyce, I tell you, you better watch out for that kid if he gets free. He is one of the fastest high schoolers track-wise.
Yeah.
And even with pads on, Teton. He is real quick. Here's Roosevelt on second down.
He's just
ahead, and he's got
pretty
a first down.
explosive runner, Roosevelt is.
Yeah, he doesn't wait for things to develop. If it's not there, he just says, I'm going straight ahead.
Yeah, it's not there. He's like, you know what? I'll make it be there. It's fine.
He'll knock over his own guys. 1st and 10, fresh set of downs for Teton. Again, Roosevelt split to that left slot. Wide of him is Brown, and there's the snap.
Oh, it's going there.
Throw, it's going to Roosevelt. He's contacted early, but not wrapping up is
Cameron
Kendall. He made the initial contact right away, but Roosevelt just spun off that. You got to really bring him down if you're going to bring him down.
Yeah, he's not the type where you can just kind of hold on and he'll just go to the ground. He's going to spin out of that and make his own way every time. 2nd and inches for Teton. Joyce, no, it's going to be a fake. Give to Tyson Brown, a pass to Brown on that slant. Nice tackle by Waylon Cosby down there. Still going to get that first down, but if he would have broken out of that tackle, it would have been a touchdown for sure. It would have
been gone, yeah.
Let's see.
1st and 10 for the T-Wolves. Snap with a give to Joyce. No, the keeper, left side. Nelson got a lot of room over there, and another 10-yard run, maybe 11, first down, Teton.
That was a nice fake. No one really seeing that he was over there.
Joyce was getting it.
Yeah, it looked like he had it. I wonder how they did that. Like
1st and 10, Teton. Yep. This time the give is to Joyce. He's got a lot of room up the middle, and Brunner finally hits him, knocks him down near the 7. That's going to be close to a first down, a little bit short.
Yep.
And Teton working quickly here. We know Coach Joyce likes to run that no huddle very fast, keep defenses from being able to substitute.
Yep. He loves that move, and I mean, it works, so.
Roosevelt taking the snap here now, drag snap, but he'll take the run and puts his head down very near the goal line, but not in. It'll be a 1st and goal. Sorry, it was first. It will be 2nd and goal, still now from the 1-foot line.
I want to say that's a Wildcat.
Yes, that's the Wildcat.
Looks like they might do it again.
No threat of a pass, although Roosevelt does throw. He is the former quarterback. Roosevelt plunges over the right side for the touchdown there, and it's 12-0. And once again, Teton having their way with this Jackson defense.
I think it's going to be that 3rd key to the game that wasn't filled in on our sheet. Stop Roosevelt. That's what I'm going with.
That 4th key, make sure Roosevelt doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, exactly.
He's having a game. He's done that to a lot of teams. As the extra point try comes. Last time the snap got away from number 22, who we don't have on our roster, but this one is up and good. So 13-0. Teton will be back with a kick right after these. You're enjoying Bronx football on Jackson Hole Radio. Find us on YouTube at the Jackson Hole Radio channel.
We'd like to wish Mr. Tate Riley a happy birthday tomorrow.
High Country Linen Service has grown with its state-of-the-art facility to be the premier rental service for linens, uniforms, and entry mats. High Country Linen also provides wholesale janitorial supplies, paper products, and earth-friendly cleaning supplies to Jackson Hole, Teton Valley, and beyond. Call 733-2638 or come see us at 355 North Glenwood. On the web at highcountrylinen.com.
Let's get back to the live action on KZ95. Here's Jake Nichols.
Jake Nichols alongside Marie Kane. 2:29 to go in the first here in Jackson. Battle of the Tetons going all Tetons' way right now. Timberwolves lead at 13-0.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how things have shifted coming out for this 2nd offensive run for Jackson. Hopefully they'll be able to get some points out of this one.
Yeah, and Coach White said he knows he has to run to throw. as this kick's going to go to May, near side. May tries to get down the sidelines. He's across the 30 to about the 35.
Nice.
Good field position for Jackson to start their first drive. But yeah, being able to run to throw, if the defense can pin its ears back and get after Harrison Ward, it's going to be a tough way. But one way to slow that rush down is to prove you can run the ball. So they're going to have to get that running game going before they're going to be able to throw, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree, especially if, the linemen on Teton are so wanting to get after the quarterback. Hopefully they'll break apart a little bit on their own.
In the gun is Harrison Ward. He's got May in the backfield with him. 2 receivers right, 1 left. The give is to May. Cuts it over the right tackle. He has good yards there. Pickup of about 7. It'll be 2nd and 3 and a good first down run.
Is he subbing out? No, he's just talking to coach. Okay. It's like, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, don't take him out yet.
I was like,
he's
he just had a
running
7-yard
well.
run. I think there's some communication happening. A little bit more huddle than we see from Teton, as mentioned. A little slower game pace when Jackson has the ball.
Yeah, Cameron Kendall near side, bottom of your screen along with Andrew Hanna. And the give is to May again,
Nice.
right side. May puts his head down, breaks 1 tackle. That time a little harder going. He gets maybe 1 or 2.
Caden Neal getting shoved by a Teton player.
That's a pretty
It's
good
a lineman. Not sure why he was getting the brunt of that.
I don't know, but that was a good hit on May by, looked like Jake Allen,
Yeah, he's
that left hand, but that's what prevented Thomas May from picking up the first down. It'll be 3rd and 2 now. Interesting. Throwing down anymore in the NFL, but 2 yards should be easy to pick up on the ground. We'll see how they play it here as Coach White.
Yeah, May was kind of hunching over a little bit in that huddle.
There's the snap, and the give is to Thomas May. Right side. No, it's
yeah.
play action, and the throw
Nice.
complete.
Nice.
Inside Teton territory. It's Justin Castano.
He had a pretty
good fake
hard
there.
hit there, too.
Yeah, Castano's a big kid.
Yeah. Him and May both have those abilities to be very physical.
Yeah, Castano, a wrestler. He's got that
Yep.
core strength, and
That's what it is. It's like, why do those two? It's the wrestling.
So first down, Jackson. They got something cooking. Once again, they find themselves in Timberwolf territory at the 45-yard line now.
Yeah.
The T-Wolves, 1st and 10.
I haven't seen Seb Brunner get the ball yet.
Not been involved yet.
I'd like to see that, just to
Hannah in
see what
motion.
happens.
Ward gets the snap. This time the give is to May over the right side. Not a lot.
Yeah.
Picks up a couple, maybe one
I
or
think
2.
it's-
May pops out of the pile, and now he goes and picks up the ball. That's to be nice to the
told
ref.
him.
Yeah.
No, he threw it, and then the ref pointed at it. I think
Oh,
the
did
ref
he
told
really?
him to go get it. Yeah.
There's no hot dogging on my watch. That'll end the first quarter. We'll take the break as well. After 1, it's Teton 13, Jackson nothing. You're enjoying Jackson Bronx football on KZ95 of the Jackson Hole Radio Network.
Jackson Lumber, the board store, Jackson's oldest business and only true lumber yard in town. Jackson Lumber's hardware people are the best in the business, and they do it right the first time. Jackson Lumber works with people who make a living building, so the tools they sell are definitely the best hand tools and power tools available, with names like Vest Tool, Milwaukee, Makita, Skillsaw, Senko, Fine, and DeWalt. Jackson Lumber, the board store at 130 South Gromont. Call 733-6000, 733-6000.
This is KZ95 with live coverage of the Jackson Bronx.
Back to the action. Team's going to flip fields here. Jackson now moving left to right on the screen whenever I get the camera correct. I mean, I'm terrible at camera. I know that already. We don't have room for a cameraman in here, but we're working on how we're going to do that for the rest of the season. Jackson, 2nd and 9 from the T-Town 44-yard line. Some confusion on the offense now. Whistles, and I believe Coach White just called a time. He didn't like anything about that. Nobody knew they were where they were supposed to be, and He said, let's talk about this.
Yeah, for sure. Might as well just take that before you have to back it up like they did
Yeah.
a couple plays ago with that false start. Maybe going the other way, they'll get a little bit of luck. You know, the touchdowns have been down on this end zone. Maybe there's
like
good
that
mojo
thinking.
down there or something like that.
Teton has scored both times they've touched the ball. They've done it pretty much with running, and it's just been a whole lot of Thomas Roosevelt. He took the opening kickoff for a big run back, carried a few times in that drive, and really Nelson has not had to throw much. And Tetons had their way with Jackson, but Bronx with a chance to answer here. Stay close, 13-0 in a week 0 game on a beautiful night, Marie.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's perfect. This was always the best time for these football games. We were sitting on the other side, of course, but when the sun would go down and it would get cool. Because, I mean, before, I'm glad they moved it over here. Before, we were just staring into the sun
Right.
as it was setting.
Man in motion as Ward takes the snap, wants to throw, has time,
There's Seb.
fires, and that's Seb Brunner thrown down at the 30, first down, and that's that Brunner slant.
Yep. That was a nice catch by him. Nice throw by Ward.
Found that little seam and made the catch right between the corner and Joker Joyce, who's playing that free safety. It was just a little bit of room there. That's all he needed. Nelson threw a nice ball. That looked good.
Yeah. That was definitely it was a pretty pass, and Seb went right over to Ward and gave him a little high five. So hopefully they're gelling well as a team.
1st and 10. Ward takes a snap, wants to throw again, has time.
He's going to see
looking for
Seb
it all,
again.
wants Brunner, end
Nice.
zone. Touchdown, Jackson.
That was an amazing catch.
What
Yeah.
a catch.
Yeah, that's all. Great catch.
Just a go and single coverage on Seb Brunner. Not too many guys going to stay with him. And Nelson threw an absolute dime. He dropped it right there. So we'll see if they want to go for 2 or kick it. I know they're working the new kicker, Smock. We're going to call him Jensen Smock anyway.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea. So
that's what we did. Looks like Brunner's the holder. I think that's something new. So here we go. First extra point for the new kid, Smock. It's up and it is good. And Jackson has done what they had to do. They answer and they don't let Teton run away with this thing. We got a ball game.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep playing like that, this will be a very well-matched, fun game for sure. Hopefully, the touchdown was on the camera.
Uh-oh.
But it was great. He laid out for it.
I was so excited to watch
through
it.
the end zone. No, we gotta.
Yeah, I'm terrible at remembering to do camera, and our camera person is left in a huff, I think. Yeah, that was a nice coffin corner route, a go route to Seb Brunner, and Nelson. Boy, if he's throwing like that this year, Harrison Ward.
Yes.
What a pass. Perfect to Seb Brunner, and Brunner had to go get it and hang on to it.
And he did both of those things
Real
very
nice,
well.
real exciting. Now, do you kick it away from Roosevelt if you can? As he's back there along with, I'm assuming he's back there, and he's back there with
Max Atley's back there.
Okay.
Somewhere. Roosevelt's back there, and then
Roosevelt on the
who are you?
far side.
Looking like Jack Joyce is back there.
Top of your screen is Joyce and Roosevelt. Look at the camera on them. There they are.
That's a little dangerous duo back there.
Definitely is. That's the running back combo.
It's going to Roosevelt in the end zone.
End zone doesn't want anything to do with it. He'll bring it out to the 20. So Teton will take the touchback, and the Jackson Bronx are all fired up now.
Yeah, crowd's getting loud.
Now does this leak over into the defense? I think it'll give them a little shot in the arm.
I think so. I think that a lot of sort of what's been going wrong can fall on the defense in this situation. So hopefully they're kind of looking to get back into it. And then a lot of the offense does kind of bleed over into the defense. So hopefully their energy is still up from that last drive.
1st and 10, Teton at their own 20. Roosevelt in the backfield. Sole running back in the backfield as they go bunch package here, running formation. There's a little
Nothing.
handout to
Nice.
Roosevelt, who gave it to another back, Joyce, and that went nowhere. A loss of a yard.
Yeah, I think May
Loss
was
of,
the
3
initial
yards.
contact. He
Yeah,
was doing
who's-
some sort of stretch celebration, so I think it was him.
Roosevelt got the handoff, then handed off to Joyce, and that all took too much time, and a loss of 3. Back to throw is Nelson.
Oh.
Got a man. It's Roosevelt out of the backfield.
Flag.
Gets away from one tackle or another. He's at the 40, 50,
Yeah, he's gone.
40, and he is gone down the left sideline. But
There is a
Kane
flag
set
on
a
the
flag
field.
on the field. We'll see what that's about. As Thomas Roosevelt does not need much. Get a look at his speed down the left sideline.
Jackson coaches are looking.
Thomas May says it's on Teton. We'll
Yeah,
see.
coaches are pointing towards Jackson's end zone.
Look like a harmless.
It was mid-play, so it could be holding on Teton.
Holding or a block in the back as May got loose. He was caught the pass.
Touchdown.
No, they're going to say that's a Jackson penalty. The touchdown will go.
Jackson crowd does not like that.
They do not. And the extra point now for Teton, 20-7. So that went real quick. Boy, that Thomas Roosevelt is going to be trouble over there in the 3A Mountain Division in Idaho. Coach Joyce said this Jackson team was maybe the toughest they play in their schedule other than Sugar. Sugar Salem, always tough over there in Idaho, and Sugar beat them in the postseason last year as the extra point is good. But he said outside of Sugar, he thought Jackson was the toughest game on this schedule.
Interesting. They're in the 3A Mountain Rivers?
Yes. And there's not a ton of great teams over there. They play a pretty easy schedule for Teton, and Teton's good. So, I mean, they're just going to steamroll from what I see with this
Yeah.
Nelson throwing and his 2 big wideouts, and then you got Joyce and Roosevelt in the backfield. I'm already looking at a Teton Sugar matchup for the championship over there in Idaho.
That would be cool because those
Man.
two are rivals over there.
Oh, yeah?
I'm pretty sure. So that would be a fun little, matchup for that title.
Well, this Timberwolf team looks pretty good. Good
They
offense.
do
We'll
for sure.
see how the Bronx respond. That's tough because Jackson had just got back into it. They had
Yep.
just answered, and then all of it gone in one play.
Yeah, I can't help to think that part of that might have been because of the flag being thrown. Sometimes that can be a little bit distracting and or makes people let up a little bit thinking that
Yeah.
it was holding on Teton or blocking the back, something along those
Right.
lines.
It's hard to get that out of your head. You're taught to play to the whistle, but maybe it did factor in as Oswaldo Chavez gets ready to kick. It's May and Brunner back to receive. This one's going to go to May. Thomas May bounces, gets by him, and they'll just let it touch back. 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Jackson Bronx.
Yep. Let's hope this offense will be able to move down the field and get it into the end zone again.
Right. I mean, that big touchdown, it takes some air out of your sails, but it really shouldn't affect what you're trying to do offensively if you're Coach White. You want to just keep building on what was working, keep doing those things. Like, we need to get May running. We need to get the ball in Seb's hands and Hannah's hands. Let's just keep doing those things, and we need to protect our quarterback. None of that changes really with the Teton score.
Yep. And I will say the offensive line did look better on that last Jackson offensive drive than before.
They did. They did seem to give more time to Ward. He wants to throw, swings it out to Thomas May. May tries to find the corner, cannot, and a good job there to stretch it out by who else? Thomas Roosevelt.
Who else would it be?
May tried to get around the edge. If he did, he might have had room, but Roosevelt was saying, no, not on my watch. 2nd and 8, pickup of 2, maybe 3. They come up again without the huddle. Harrison Ward takes a snap, wants to throw, got Hannah, hits him right there in the slot. Hannah turns, puts the head down, and
That'll be a first down.
Slips between Joyce and another tackler, Aiden Millard, and a first down for Jackson. Yeah, Hannah just went out with a little 8-yard curl, stopped, turned around, and said, here I am, 6'7".
And all he had to do also is he reached his arm out to get a couple extra yards. That's like reaching out
That's like
5 feet.
It is.
It's like a whole extra yard.
3-yard reach, from where he's falling. Timber and, good point.
It was good that he knew to get that arm out there, too.
Ward bobbles a snap, now recovers, fires to May, near side. Thomas May puts a move on, runs down the near sidelines and loses it out of bounds. It won't matter. And the referee will say it went out of bounds at the 47-yard line at Teton. It's good enough for a first down, and that was a nice play. That was, again, that Thomas May sidestep. He's got a way of just doing the Olay move like the bull charging the red cape, and you just miss him. He's easy to miss when he's got that going.
From up here, I guess, he barely even moved, and they were like, oh, he's going on the outside. Nope, no, he's not.
No, it's not a lot. It's not like Shakira hip shake. It's just like a almost invisible hip shake, but he's gone.
It's like a head nod.
Yeah.
And then they're
head
gone.
Nod. It is like a head nod gone.
Oh.
Pass too low there for Hannah. Yeah, it was
Down
a little bit down.
knees.
Those big guys don't like to reach down. And incomplete. 2nd and 10 now.
I just got to get back in that rhythm a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and run it here.
I was going to say, don't be afraid to keep it on the ground. Keep a run, because they might be coming all out. It's Roosevelt and Joker Joyce, who are back safeties. They're about 25 yards off the ball, making sure nothing bad happens behind them. But they're
I wouldn't be surprised
well
if they're
off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're watching Brunner back there.
Left for Ward. He's going to throw,
Brunner.
And it's Brunner on that slant. They were ready for it. He's tackled immediately, but he does pick up about 5. It'll be 3rd and 4. 3rd and 5 for Jackson. They're in Teton territory at the 42.5-yard line. Trying to put together a drive and answer a quick score by Teton. It's Thomas Roosevelt 21, Jackson 7.
Thomas Roosevelt.
I mean, the guy's done it all.
I mean,
there's a good hard count there, and they caught the defensive lineman. That's Jackson Hatch. That 5 yards is going to be close to giving them the first down.
Yeah.
We'll see where they put it. Very close, but short.
Well,
I don't think
one
he
of the
got it.
chain movers is in limbo.
He might want to measure. I don't think he got it.
I don't think so. Oh.
3rd and about a foot.
What is happening? They're moving the chains.
They can't be moving the chains.
They are.
Oh, my.
Look at them.
Okay, first down.
First down, Bronx.
That's
nice,
a home team first down.
Oh, man.
He did not have it. All right, snap to Ward, and again he bobbles it, but that's going to turn out to be a good thing as he finds room on the left side.
Oh.
He gets a good block. Thomas Roosevelt comes up, rings his bell.
Yeah, I mean, that was a kind of stiff arm to what looked like the face, but we will say the shoulder.
They both got a bunch of each other.
Went down.
Yeah.
So that was a good hit.
Harrison Ward's big. Roosevelt's big as well.
Yeah.
They're probably an evenly matched.
Yeah, we don't have Roosevelt's height or weight.
Pick up
But
of
Ward
7.
is 6'2", 185.
Roosevelt's got to be in that range. 2nd and 3 now for the Bronx. That was a nice block also on the edge by Cameron Kendall, who allowed his quarterback to pick up some extra yards. Looking long here, and again it's to Brunner in the end zone, and Seth breaks it up, and it's a good thing he did. Or that might have been intercepted. Joker Joyce was there, along with Jack Joyce, the Joyce brothers. Both of them were there in coverage. And that play that was there earlier for a touchdown was not there that time. Double coverage, and the ball hung a little, and Seb went up high and just knocked it away from both Joyces.
I wonder what that's like with kind of, because I know Jack Joyce briefly played with some of these guys.
Yeah.
That must be interesting.
Yeah, but a good play. Seb, who knew he had to become a defensive back on that play.
Which is sort of his home territory.
Give to May, near side, and he does get the edge. Thomas May down to the 21, and that's enough for a first down.
I'm loving May's
good
little
blocks
celebrations.
on the edge. Yeah, Tom, I didn't think he'd be able to. Oh, flag hanky down.
Uh-oh.
See what that is. I was going to say good block on the outside to allow May to
Hopefully
turn the
it's not a
corner,
block
and
in
maybe it
Illegal
was
block.
too good of a block.
He's talking to Seb.
Yeah, Seb's trying to explain something, and that's the same look he has on the hardwood in basketball when he's trying to explain how things weren't
How
his
that
fault.
wasn't a foul.
Yeah.
Well, he was kind of like, he like waved his hand a little. He was like, okay.
Yeah.
They are, but Jackson is backing up though.
They'll march it off. It's going to be a holding
Are they
call,
gonna?
I would
yeah,
imagine.
Okay. I was like, did they tell us?
3rd and 13 for the Bronx. We're going to guess holding, and we're going to guess Seb only because
He's getting
he had
patted by the
look.
ref.
Yeah, right.
He had the body language.
Yes, we've learned it by this time. Watching him for 3 years, he did have the guilty demeanor about him. 3rd and long now for Jackson. They're going to have to throw. 2 receivers split wide right. It's Seb and Hannah. Now Hannah in motion, and the shotgun snap to Harrison Ward. Ward wants to throw, fires over the middle, and he's got
That was a good
his
catch
big
by
tight
Hannah.
end, Andrew Hanna, for a first down.
That was one of those situations where he just caught it over the defender's head.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm 6'7". Oh,
And
student section's chanting Andrew
Really
Hanna.
good job by the new quarterback, Harrison Ward, to trust that even though it doesn't look like he's open on that play, there's been a few times where Hannah was open. You're like, oh, my goodness, throw it to him. That time he wasn't that open.
Yeah.
But if you throw it high, he's the only guy who can get it.
Especially because I think the defender was sort of facing towards where Hannah was turning to, so it just kind of went over the top of his helmet. He didn't see it coming.
Really
if you
nice
turn
throw.
around,
Yeah. Flags
flag.
before the play. We'll
Who's
see
about
if
saying that's on Jackson?
it's pre-snap, and almost always has to be the offense.
Yep,
it
they're
is.
backing
They're
up
gonna march
again.
off 5.
False start, probably.
But Hannah already looks like a different receiver than last year. Last year it looked like, I'm a basketball player. I'll see what I can do to help you out. And that's what you got. Now Hannah's like, hey, I'm a tight end that can also play basketball.
Yeah.
He's
cool
looked
for sure.
really good.
He has, yeah. I think he's definitely come into his own, just like knowing football a little bit more and having that experience on the field.
1st and 15, snap the board, wants to throw, has time, slant. That was not there at all, and almost picked off by Roosevelt.
Was Max Atley, I think?
Number 2?
Yeah, Max Atley.
Yeah.
It should have been an interception.
Yeah, intended for Cameron Kettle, but he was well watched. 2 guys on him, and actually the one who almost came up with a pick. Now, I don't know what Ward saw there, but it wasn't there.
Seemed like that. I don't know if the pocket was collapsing a little bit, but I think that was kind of like that was the play called.
And
so
he was going to go there no matter what.
Yeah, he was just going to hope that it was there.
Right.
Instead of looking for possible other option and taking the sack.
We'll bring up 2nd and 15. Ford in the shotgun again with May back off his hip. Time to throw. He's got plenty of time. Looking now, he's going to tuck it and run. There's not much there.
No, waited
coverage.
Just like a millisecond too long.
Yeah, got out of bounds. He got the 5 yards of the penalty back. Maybe, but it's still going to bring up
3rd and
10-ish.
11, 12.
3rd and 12 looks like. Yeah, good coverage that time. It looked like Teton just rushed 3. They had everybody back in coverage, and Harrison Moore just couldn't find anybody open. And finally, that clock in your head when your quarterback says, hey, I got to run or I got to do something. I can't just stay here forever.
Exactly. Especially with these linemen. They're really trying to get back there to him on Teton.
Ward puts a man in motion and whistles before the play again. We'll see what that is. Who's that?
Beckett Maher.
Beckett Maher. I've seen him. He's out there at the receiver. What's the whistles about? I didn't see a flag. I just heard whistles.
No, but they're backing up Jackson.
Coach White having a say. And again, there was players in motion, so that always adds another layer. There can only be one person moving at a time, so maybe while Maher was in motion, someone else thought they were going to go in motion. If you got 2 guys moving, that only works in Canadian football, I think. Harrison Ford now brings the troops up again, faced with a third and even longer. May in the backfield with him, trips right, one receiver to the left. Now Maher again in motion. Looks like they'll run that same play. Here's the snap. Ward wants to throw. He wants Maher left side, long and just overthrown. Maher watched closely by Max Ashley, and that pass overthrown.
Yeah, I probably.
And bring up 4th and long, and we'll see what Coach White wants to do here. You're out of range of most field goal kickers, and you don't punt down this close. You just got to go, really.
Yeah, it's 7:30 left on the clock, too, so I feel like it's going to just go for it.
Bringing Smock out, though. He's going to try one.
Confidence in him. Yeah.
This would be a big one. Set up, and I mean, they'll place it at the 38, so it makes it a 48-yarder if he really does kick it. On the near hash, Smock will go 48, and he's well short with it.
I think someone got a hand on it. It looked like. Looked like it took a little something in the air.
With 7:29 to go in the first half, it's been all Teton, and Thomas Roosevelt has a lot to say about that. But there have been some bright spots for the Jackson Bronx on offense.
I think the biggest thing coming out of this is just knowing that Ward can do it.
Ward's a quarterback. I was going to say, you know you got a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's start with the things you just found out in less than a half to play. Ward's our guy.
Exactly.
He's a quarterback. He can throw.
Yep, they've got that down, and I think other than that, it's just melding the pieces together with the receiving core and the lineman core and that kind of stuff.
Nelson the snap, and he gives to Joyce, who is got about 2 or 3 Bronx dragging him down. Still,
he's brought down by.
Picks up 5, second and 5. Joyce's
Wiley was on that tackle.
Tate. Joyce's thing is speed, but he bulked up in the offseason, I noticed, and he was dragging some players on that run. Roosevelt now in the backfield with Nelson. Second and 5, Roosevelt in motion now. Nelson will keep it himself. Oop, nothing there, and then he tries to cut it back, but Andrew Hanna said, nah.
Andrew Hanna. So he's playing defense out there as well.
Nelson thought about the over right tackle, didn't like it, cut it back inside, but Hanna did a good job staying home. It'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the T-Wolves.
Hopefully the Bronx can get a stop. I don't know that they've had one.
I don't believe they have at all.
No, I think this is their 4th drive, and it would be 21 if they made that extra point.
Fake to Joyce. Nelson, now he does give it to Jack Joyce. Right side, Joyce got a first down, a little bit more as he's dragged down at the 35-yard line.
Nice tackle by Thomas May, but just not quite.
May on the stop. 6.5 and counting. Teton has scored, every time they've touched a ball, every possession. Methodically, and then one quickly with Roosevelt. Trips left for Nelson. 2 receivers to the right, empty backfield. They're going to throw. Nelson back, looking right side. Wants Joyce. No, he wants more, and he's got a man. Wide open, and dragged down to the 25. Brunner missed the tackle.
But luckily, let's see. That was
right on the money.
Cosby again with the tackle. That was him that ended up bringing him down, luckily, before he was gone.
Tyson Brown on the reception, and there was Joyce was running a short route over there. Brown running the long one, and that ball right on the money to Brown.
Yeah, that was a really nice pass, and Brown is 6'4" and 200 pounds.
Wide receiver screen again to Thomas Roosevelt, and he is in. And that play seems to be there anytime T-Town wants it, when that quick wide receiver screen to Roosevelt. You talked about when he gets his body in motion, he's difficult to deal with. Yeah,
it's definitely going to be something that they need to talk about in their locker room shed in halftime, I would say, is protecting that play and Roosevelt in general. And the defense really does need to step up on Jackson's front. They've been playing a little bit soft, I would say.
Extra point coming up here as Roosevelt's done all the scoring for T-Town, right? The kick is up and good.
Yep. The 27-7.
27-7.
Not looking
T-Town
good.
in the lead, well.
You never know, though. That's the beauty of football in this, when it's still, within this amount of closeness with enough time. Still 6 minutes on the game clock, which feels like a lot. Feels
It
like
does.
forever ago I said that there was like 7:30. So it's definitely interesting.
Big O scoreboard showing 6:01 to go in the half. 27-7 Teton. No obligation, free vehicle inspection and free alignment check. If you ever have some worries, if you got a little shimmy in the car, just bring it down to Big O. They'll tell you what it is. Maybe not tires.
Nice. The Target Plaza. It's so weird. I still want to call it Kmart every time.
Forever be the Kmart Plaza, but yeah.
Fortunately. All right. See what the offense is wanting to do. Hopefully they have an answer for that one.
Yeah, and
I think
it'll get to a point where you just put the score behind you and work as if this were a practice. So you want to have the intensity of a game, but you got a lot to work on and start working on it. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. There are things you can build on, things that look good that we like.
sure.
And yeah, just keep working it.
Yeah, I'm thinking let's get it running with May, and then let's get it passing to Brunner. And Hannah. That's what's been working there.
Yeah. Chavez booms the kick far side out across the 20 to the 21.
That was Tyson Kendall.
Yeah, looked like Tyson Kendall. And he's out to about where it would be with the touchback. So Jackson,
it's got like
their own 22-yard line will take over. 1st and 10. Plenty of time to put together a drive here. Cut the lead in half and maybe start doing some of those things on offense.
Yep. I think if they can score right here and, like you said, cut that lead in half and then head into their locker room and, have some time to talk about some things, they might be able to come out looking like the Jackson team that should be on the field, I guess, if you want to say it that way. Pass to Brunner.
Brunner with a catch near side.
Nice.
Evades one tackler. He's across the 30 to the 35. That's a first down. Jackson, good quick hitter to the outside. And anytime you can get the ball in Brunner's hands in time and space, that's good.
Looks a little disappointed about something. Wonder if they're saying it wasn't. I didn't think it was a first down. Oh, they're calling holding on Jackson.
Yeah, flags down and that one coming back.
Those are those kind of clean plays that you were talking about earlier, making sure that you don't lose a first down like that, especially one with that kind of momentum.
Yeah, early, fumbles,
they're
picks,
way
and
back there
penalties
now.
Are always a problem. You see a lot of bobbled snaps by Jackson, and the penalties starting to pile up now. Yeah, they got to settle into their game here. Harrison Ward again in the gun. Gets a snap, wants to throw. Far side, got a man wide open, but
nice, breaks some ankles a little bit. Gets them to the old line of scrimmage-ish. A little behind that. That was
back out to the 22.
Griffin Miller with the receive.
Yeah, nice play. Put a little dipsy doodle on Max Ashley and
kind of bent at the knee a little.
He was like, he bent in an odd way. I thought Max might have broke his legs there. Brunner split wide right along with 13.
Yeah, that's who were just Griffin Miller again.
That's Brunner on that screen. That ball goes off. He took his eyes off it for just a second, I think, because he saw somebody coming. And that ball was thrown hard. It's bounced right off his shoulder pads. I think he took an eye off of who was coming to get him.
Yep.
And did not secure the ball. So it'll bring up 3rd and long. 5 minutes now left on the half. Jackson at their own 22. This drive not going anywhere in a hurry. What do you call now? Hannah's been the go-to guy when they've...
Yeah, you got to just maybe even... I know he just sort of bobbled a catch, but maybe even just send Seb down the field just because he has that speed to be able to get down there.
Looks like he's got just the single coverage on him as they want to throw. And that
I don't love that play.
Nah, timing wasn't there either, and down goes...
That was Waylon Cosby.
Cosby's actually a loss of a couple. Bring up 4th and too long in the punting unit out.
Yep.
for Jackson.
Not the drive they were looking for. I think that had a lot to do with that holding call. I mean, if that wouldn't have happened, they're moving down the field pretty quickly on that first down, you know, by Seb.
Such drive killers, even when they happen early in a drive. They just take the momentum right out of you. You feel good about a play, and then, you're walking it back.
Yeah, especially a holding call. That'll back you up pretty far.
Here comes the punt. Jackson can at least practice that. Roosevelt's not going to try to come up and field it. Jack Joyce tries to get out of the way of it, and Jackson
nice little roll.
will touch it at the Teton 46-yard line. That's where the T-Wolves will take over. They lead this one 27-7. We'll take the break. When we come back, Teton's football, they up by 20 here as the first half winds down on KZ95 and the Jackson Hole Radio Network.
Jackson Lumber, the board store, Jackson's oldest business and only true lumber yard in town. Jackson Lumber's hardware people are the best in the business, and they do it right the first time. Jackson Lumber works with people who make a living building, so the tools they sell are definitely the best hand tools and power tools available, with names like Vest Tool, Milwaukee, Makita, Skillsaw, Senco, Fine, and DeWalt. Jackson Lumber, the board store at 130 South Grovemont. Call 733-6000, 733-6000.
Here's your voice of the Jackson Bronx, Jake Nichols on KZ95.
Back to the action. First play from scrimmage. Teton running the ball. Who was that, man?
That was Roosevelt. Before that, we had, I believe it was maybe Tyson Brown, maybe? They're haven't gotten the first down quite yet, though, so I believe it's 3rd and 4-ish. So maybe Jackson will be able to get that stop I was talking about last play.
Nelson hands off to Jack Joyce. Not a lot of running room there. Oh, second effort gets him close, but I think he'll be marked just short. It's going to be close.
From where I'm seeing the ball, he's inches short. See where they mark it, though.
The refs have been generous to Jackson.
Here. They have.
They're going to say 4th and short, and
they're going to go for it either way.
Coach Joyce wastes little time. He's going Roosevelt in the Wildcat, and you can imagine he's just going to run this somewhere. He does. Roosevelt first down, gets away from Cameron, and he's in the open field. Sorry, that's not Roosevelt.
Jack Nelson.
Jack Nelson, and he's in. Touchdown. So,
yeah, that was, I see 5 Bronx right around that end zone.
Yeah.
That in theory should have made that tackle.
Yeah, Nelson's pretty good with his legs. He did the same thing to this team last year. Nelson, we were expecting Roosevelt to quarterback that game, but Jack Joyce, when he went over to join the program, said, I'm going to have Nelson quarterback. Roosevelt's more dangerous running, but Nelson can sure run too.
Yeah, I do think that Roosevelt is more dangerous running.
Yeah, I think it's the right choice, but Nelson, if the pass isn't there, boy, he can sure tuck it and run. So, Teton having their way with Jackson, 34-7. The extra point is good.
I mean, at this point, the guys just need to not get too down. Remember, it's not even half yet. And then also it is kind of a preseason tester game.
Yeah.
See what's working. And so far what we can see is that in the grand scheme of things, the offense is working for the most part. It's more so just being able to finish, which comes with a little bit of time and practice. And then also that defense being able to hold off the other team is going to be a big key to this season from what I can see.
Yeah. And the defense can't get down on themselves because Teton is going to roll it up this season, I have a feeling. This is not the only defense that's going to watch Roosevelt and Nelson just run all over the gridiron. They're going to do it this year. So, yeah, keep feeling good. Like the crowd got a lot of energy out of that big pass to Brunner. Do a couple more of those. couple more to Hannah, and no matter what the final score says, give the crowd things to be happy about and give yourselves things to build on before that long bus ride to Douglas next week, because some things have gone right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've seen really good passes out of Ward. We've seen good receptions out of Hannah and Brunner, and we've seen good runs out of May, and I think that that's pretty much everything you need for it to go right, as long as your defense can hold them.
Chavez banks it to May, far side. He picks it up at the 17, out to the 25, short of the 30 before he's knocked out of bounds.
Oh.
Jackson takes over, 1st and 10. 2:07 to go in the half. Time to put together the 2-minute drill. So another thing you can work on, practice on. There's going to be times this season where you've got 2 minutes to move it 80 yards. Here we go.
Yep, see how they handle it. Give it to May to begin with in the backfield, and then go from there. But I wouldn't be surprised if we... That's my play call at the moment.
All right.
Based on how things have gone with the last drive, however, I would prefer a play-action pass just because that gets you farther down the field most of the time.
1st and 10 from the 27, May in the backfield. Harrison Moore gets the snap, wants to throw, has plenty of time, fires over the middle. Seb Brunner dropped it. Oh, boy. Seb had the catch right at the first down sticks and might have had a little running room as well, but
that's
couldn't hang on.
More so what I was talking about, giving the receivers a play where it's not all on them.
Yeah,
let it be a run
builder.
Exactly, especially because Seb is kind of being the go-to right now, giving him a second to kind of get his head back in the game, because we've seen it here where he can kind of get a little out of it for a second.
2nd and 10, Bronx. Ward, again, he wants to throw. He wants Hannah. Pass on
Almost
target.
intercepted, but luckily it wasn't.
Yes, Hannah's across the 50 to the... There's T-Top 49. Hannah,
no flags. It was a block by Seb Brunner. That was pretty nice to be able to get him a couple more yards.
Coming up to try to make that pick. It was all or nothing. Was Beckett? No, sorry, it was 22, and I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have a 22.
He gambled, and when he lost that gamble, Hannah had a lot of running room.
He did.
Snap to Ward. Wants to throw a little bit of pressure. Steps up, and now he goes down. And yeah, it was
about 2 yards on that one.
Again, Teton's only sending a 3-man rush. Ward
it's just
had more time than he thought he did. And
that was Jackson Hatch, who was in the backfield by the time I looked up.
2nd and 12. Clock is your enemy now. 125 and counting in the half.
These are the kind of moments where that classic Joyce no huddle really comes in handy for the Teton teams. It's when you're running the clock.
Right, 2 receivers to the left. Harrison Ward, the snap, wants to throw again. Wants down the right sidelines, wants Brunner, and it's off his hands. He was well covered.
Yeah, 22 again. Wish we knew
and
who he was.
The 22 right on it. And it's incomplete. Did a good job breaking up. Pass was not bad.
No, it was a nice pass. It just
Brunner was
well covered, exactly.
1:03 to go. Clock stops on the incompletion.
Once again, that just seemed his pocket was collapsing. So it's always difficult to be able to look for something else.
Yeah, I was looking for something else for him, and really there wasn't anything there. I don't mind that throw, and it was a good one.
Oh, yeah. I think almost if that would have been Hannah, a little higher, a little taller than the receivers, but overall good coverage by Teton. There's that pocket breaking down again.
Yeah, pocket breaks down, rolls to his right, cannot get away from number 69, who pulls him down for the sack and a loss.
Yeah, it's
big.
There's 3 guys kind of coming. It's Jackson Hatch, Seth Stevens, and Waylon Frey on Teton that are really the 3 that are giving Ward a whole bunch of problems in the backfield.
Something that's got to be cleaned up, that offensive line and the blocking schemes, who has who, because really Teton hasn't blitzed a whole lot. It's just been man on man, and their defensive line has been good.
It has been, for sure. Another one of those kind of keys coming into it. When the season, now you know that your offensive line needs a little bit of polishing, be able to give your clearly capable quarterback a chance, which I think is definitely kind of a win on the Jackson front, just knowing that they have the capability to do it. They just need to clean some stuff up to be able to pull it out.
Yeah, and it's just going to take playing together because, I mean, this line is not the worst we've seen here. And some of these guys had playing time last year.
Yeah.
Neild, Barazay, Kim Miller, Foray. I mean, these guys have been around. They know what it takes. It's just early season. They'll figure it out.
For sure.
The punting unit is on for Jackson, 4th and 17. They'll kick it away, and Roosevelt's back to receive. Aim it out of bounds if you can. Jensen Smock as he gets the snap and the boot.
Nice.
Roosevelt fair catches at his own 30, and that's where tea time will start with very little time, 45 seconds to go in the half.
See if they'll be able to do anything with a nice low number on the clock. Based on how things have been going, they have a fair chance of being able to bring it down to that end zone.
Teton has really rolled. That offense has been impressive, 34-7, and we're not yet done with the half. Jackson defense has had some missed tackles, some missed assignments, but really a lot of it has been the talent of Teton.
They're looking really good. I mean, even just from when I was in high school, they were kind of starting to get better as it was like my senior year. They're looking good. There's Roosevelt.
Gives to Roosevelt.
Basically gone.
He fumbled right at the end of the play. I thought he was down, but maybe not.
Looks like Jackson recovered the
Jackson.
ball.
So
Nice.
Thomas Roosevelt with a rare miscue, fumbled right at the end of that run. Would have been a 6-yard pickup.
I think that
But he coughed it up.
might have been Jack Barazay. I saw him get a little slap on the chest, so maybe it was him that recovered that. But this
So-
could be that spark that Jackson needs.
Could be.
35 seconds
Not a lot of time.
on the play clock.
Jackson has the lone touchdown, and that was that go route to the corner of the end zone to Brunner, and the ball put right on the money by
And I will say,
Ward.
if you're going to have one touchdown, that's
That
a
was
good touchdown to have.
That's a pretty one.
If you're going to have one, it might as well be, kind of one of your go-to situations that's going to be happening this season.
It was a highlight reel touchdown for sure. Ward gets the snap, right side, easy little dump
Nice.
off to May. May tucks it and runs, and he's inside the 30.
I like that run.
Pickup of perhaps 7. He did not get out of bounds, or did he?
It was
No,
pretty
timeout.
quick,
He did
too.
not.
So,
Yeah, quick little play. Bring up 2nd and 2 maybe, but more importantly, clock down to 26 seconds. Jackson has 1 timeout remaining.
I think that's good. 26 seconds,
Time to do it.
25-ish yards or something. Did they move the sticks?
No, it should be
No.
2nd and 2, 3 maybe.
I thought they might have, but I think I might just be looking through the other part of the window.
So if you're Coach White, you're just rolling through the playbook, and you want to give Harrison Ward the option of looking deep first and then coming back to something safety, but
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of time to keep driving. I think your first look is, do I have Brunner on that go?
Yep.
Do I have Cameron? Do I have somebody who's got one-on-one coverage and they've got a step? If not, what's my check down? Where's Hannah?
Yep, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I think you look to your outside receivers, and then if not, in theory, Hannah's running a little bit in the middle, just shy of a first down or at the first down. Because if they get this first down here, they can call a timeout and have 10-ish yards to the goal line.
Yeah, meanwhile, Teton playing deep at the safety. Back to throws Ward. He runs out of time, and down he goes. And again, it's Frey. He's having a game, too.
He is, for sure.
Big-time sack, and that will all but do it for the Bronx Hopes. Clock down to 13 seconds now.
Yeah, at this point, you just got to send Brunner, Hannah, May, Kendall, whoever you can get down there, and just hope that they can make it down on that kind of Hail Mary sort of situation.
Jackson burns its last time out. Coach White very demonstrative in the huddle as he explains what he wants them to do, but this is, again, working on things. You're not going to throw a 30-point
think they're saying to
Put
change
some time back on the clock. It's not going to matter a whole lot.
11 seconds? I thought he was saying 21.
We're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
We went 13 to 11. Oh,
21.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, referee wants 21, and that's what we'll get.
That's better for Jackson. Well, it's still 11 at the moment, but he's asking for 21. There we go.
21 seconds. Jackson ball now, and Harrison Ward sees his team backed up now to the 40 of Teton after that sack. If they want to hit something long, it's going to be tough. Roosevelt and Joker Joyce playing pretty deep at the safeties.
Yep.
Backing up at the snap.
Seb's
Harrison
got his little
Ward
slant,
gets
but,
away from one tackler, and down he goes.
That was a hard tackle.
It was. Ward showed how strong he was. He got out of the grips of the first guy, and he was still kept his eyes downfield, which I really like as a quarterback. But then all that invited two more T-Wolves to get there. Now, that was too much. That's how the half will end, with another sack, and Jackson get the ball back on the Roosevelt fumble, but failed to capitalize, and we've hit the half. With the score, Teton 34, Jackson 7. We'll be back with a halftime show. Right after these, Marie Kane's kept some statistics, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Maybe not. We'll be right back after this from YDOT.
Texting and driving. Texting and driving? Everyone knows there really is no and. You're either texting or you're driving. In other words, if you're typing or reading anything while you're behind the wheel, you're not paying attention and you're not in control of your vehicle. That's why law enforcement around the state is cracking down on distracted driving. Hey, Wyoming, let's put an end to texting and driving, because we all know better. There is no and. This message was paid for by YDOT.
In case you haven't heard, Healing Waters is offering a machine that can penetrate deep into your muscle fiber to increase your strength by 25%. We can treat glutes, abdominals, arms, calves, and thighs. What is this incredible machine? It's called M-Sculpt Neo. How does it work? M-Sculpt Neo uses electromagnetic force to contract your muscles 20,000 times in half an hour. M-Sculpt Neo also uses a high heat for fat breakdown and tightening skin. Best part, no downtime. After 30 minutes, you can return to your day. Come see how this revolutionary machine can help you get strong. Learn more at Float WYO or call 307-922-4212.
Your home for Jackson Hole High School sports is KZ95. Let's get back to the game.
Yeah, before we talk football, I want to give the Jackson girls a chance to do their thing. This is their first public performance. These kids not even back in school yet. So we'll
Crazy.
get them on here. Is this the dance team?
Yes.
Or, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Let's watch the dance team and what they've got. Kane?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's very different from what they used to do when my grade. That was way more drill team-esque, like with the palms and stuff like that.
Right.
A
Like
little
old
different.
school drill team.
Yeah.
Like not, yeah.
Because our
Right.
dance teams used to be very just like strictly hip-hop. So I liked that. I like their little outfits too. They're cute.
All right.
That was fun.
Also noticed that Teton, like some teams, not many, electing to stay on the field in their end zone rather than go back to the bus.
Yeah, I
It's
think
a
they.
nice night. Like,
Yeah, they've also got a pretty far. I don't know if they're in the building, like the school building, or if they're in their buses for stuff. Because they were walking off the field towards the north end, so I don't know how far they have to go. But a lot of teams do this when it's not cold.
Yeah, if it's nice, they'll just stay there in one of the end zones. It might even be better on a night like this than going in the clubhouse shed if you're the Bronx and listening to Coach White, some of the things he may have to say.
Yeah, I imagine it's hot in there. Like, I can't imagine
and
there's
getting
air in
hotter.
there. Yeah, like I feel like it's definitely got to be kind of like a car where it just like takes the sun in and then it's just hot. That's what I imagine it's like. I mean, I've been in there, but during track season when we're like shoveling off the field, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't know too much, but
Well, one team certainly got to change what's going on for Teton. Keep rolling, and we'll probably see some of the underclassmen. The out-of-town scoreboard, by the way, showing week 0 matchups between Star Valley and Shelley. I do not have a score in any of these games. Our scorekeepers around the state are also in a week 0 mode. Lander is at Cody. Buffalo is hosting Lovell, and Riverton and Powell facing off. And the early season coaches and media poll have Star Valley defending champs ranked number 1, Cody at number 2.
Did Star Valley win last year?
Star Valley did break the streak. They beat Cody.
They could do it.
I don't know if they return enough guys to do it again. Cody is able to just keep reloading, but
What
it'll
is
be
going on over there in Cody where they just keep producing
something
these
in the water.
championship teams?
I know it. I know. And you know, it's right on down the program. Freshmen last year or the year before, I think it was, the JV freshmen and varsity, none of them lost a game. All at every level.
Wow, yeah.
It's just insane. Douglas is ranked number 3, as they usually are, the Beast from the East. It's Powell, the team everybody's talking about, with Jet Schwan at quarterback. They took the number 4 ranking, and then Buffalo out of the West is also going to be tough. Jackson was down there in 6th, ahead of Evanston, Green River, Lander, and Riverton.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised at how highly ranked these Bronx were coming into this season. Looking at it on Max Preps, which, you know.
Max Preps has them ranked 5,
Yes.
but the coach's media poll says 6.
Right around there.
But yeah, it's middle of the pack, and you look at the schedule for the Jackson Bronx. I was talking to Coach White about it. It's a tough schedule. Before you're even back in school, you're on your longest road trip of the year. That 7-hour drive to Douglas.
God.
They're going to break it up. They're going to go the night before since they don't have school. And
that's good, at least.
they're going to go as far as Casper and then do the rest of the drive. But that's a long road trip against the best team from the East. Douglas always pretty good. Jackson beat them here on this field last year. A major upset, in my opinion. And Douglas is going to be looking for revenge on their field.
Sure.
That's going to be a tough game next week.
That'll be fun. That's next Friday.
Yeah.
Assuming.
Yep.
First.
And it doesn't get any easier as you look at winnable games. Green River, Evanston, there jump out of these 2 winnable games, but that Evanston game is going to be tough. That was a double overtime game last year. That'll be another close one.
Yeah, 34-33, too, not super high scoring in the grand scheme of things.
Green River beat Jackson last year, but that was a game the Bronx want back. They probably should have had that one, but
yeah,
it's South Fremont's going to be really tough. They're good.
They're over in Idaho too.
Yeah, and Wood River's over in Idaho. We don't know a lot about Wood River. We should. I mean, I think we rolled them last year here, but they have a better team.
55-12 Jackson.
Okay, Wood River did win their opener in a thriller. I think they're a better team. So where are the wins going to come from for Jackson? It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think that it's doable, I would say, especially even if they come out, and beat Douglas again on their home turf. Even just like a big win like that could get it going to where
that'd be huge.
They become confident in themselves as players.
Yeah.
And they'll have a little bit of time between this game and next week to kind of figure out those kinks that we talked about in the team that are going to need to be addressed in order for them to succeed.
A win in Douglas would be huge. That would really start things rolling. But, I mean, I see this team able to play some 500 basketball, as they say, and then maybe a steal one.
Yeah.
And you're a game over 500, you go to the playoffs, and you're scary if you've got some players that can do stuff. Seb's a long ball threat. Hannah is a tough matchup for anyone.
Yeah.
And this kid Harrison Ward looks like he can throw it. So the offense looks pretty good at that offensive line. Marie, you got to get down there and
I guess so.
Show them how to block or something.
Maybe. I don't know. Seems like every team just can't. None of my teams can get an offensive line together.
Is that really the Bears' issue? I thought the Bears had a lot of things going wrong for them.
It was mainly that. That's why Fields had to run so much. He didn't have a choice.
Oh, that's right. Poor Fields running for his life.
Yeah.
Well, it couldn't happen to a better guy. I mean,
it turns out it was great.
Turns out he's the only guy who could actually do that.
Yeah, not longevity on that front. Same with, these Broncs. You can only take so many sacks and so many, runs as a quarterback before something goes wrong.
True. And, you got an eye in the sky. You got film on this game. First time that Harrison Ward and other guys would be able to look at film. So every sack he takes, they're going to go back in the film room, and Coach White will say, look, here was your hot. You didn't see him. Get that ball out. That's the guy. And Ward will learn from this one. Every sack, he'll feel it, and he'll learn from it.
Yep, for sure. I mean, even kind of seeing that, it was kind of towards the end that he was getting a little – like they were getting sack happy, I guess would be more so.
Yeah.
The way to say that, kind of when things were getting a little more tired, hopefully a little break, they'll be able to kind of talk about what went wrong, and hopefully chit-chatting about it will be able to help a little bit going into the second half.
We will be going to the second half here, just minutes away to kick that off with a score at the half. It's been Teton 34.
Yes. It's
Jackson,
been Roosevelt
7. It's been a whole lot of Roosevelt, man. I hope he's tell me he's took his cleats off and he's done for the night.
I don't think so, but that's what in that little shed locker room over there would be like, hey guys, 12. Don't let him touch the ball. If 12. He touches the ball, that's a problem.
Yep.
And then the defense is really just going to need to pick up a little bit, play a little bit rougher. I feel like they're kind of not too many, especially once Roosevelt gets going, there's not too many made tackles.
And that's why I said disrupted defense. What I was trying to say is, like, you got to do things, that are hyper aggressive, super physical, and don't react to Roosevelt and try to tackle him after he. You got to go get him before he.
Yeah, exactly.
Disrupt that offense before he even gets going, and that I thought was their only chance against an offense that, when Nelson has time, when Roosevelt gets running, forget it.
Yeah, exactly. Even just come
talented.
out and put a couple guys on him just for the first play, see what their backup option is, and go from there. I mean, we know that their run game is decent, but it's also easier to stop a regular pass run than a little quick pass to Roosevelt, who is then going to blow down the field in 5 seconds.
Jackson Broncs are out of the shed to a man. They all look like they say 12, 12, 12. We're ready to go here second half. We'll be right back. Jackson Broncs, Teton Timberwolves set for a second half after the...
Do you remember what it's like to be a teenager? It can be really tough trying to navigate sports, academics, relationships with family and friends, not to mention the added stress of social media, phones, and screen time. Young Life believes that every teen deserves to know that they are loved and their story matters. Young Life leaders enter the world of teens, focusing on what matters to them: fun, adventure, friendship, and a sense of significance. If you love teenagers as much as we do, there's more info at our website, jacksonhole.younglife.org, to learn more.
Experience Jackson Hole like a local while staying at the Antler Inn, Elk Country Inn, Cowboy Village Resort, or 49er Inn and Suites. With the best entertainment, dining, shopping, bars, and brews all in walking distance, you'll never want to leave. Call 1-800-4-TETONS or find them on the web at townsquareinns.com.
In case you haven't heard, Healing Waters is offering a machine that can penetrate deep into your muscle fiber to increase your strength by 25%. We can treat glutes, abdominals, arms, calves, and thighs. What is this incredible machine?
It's called M-Sculpt Neo.
How does it work? M-Sculpt Neo uses electromagnetic force to contract your muscles 20,000 times in half an hour. M-Sculpt Neo also uses a high heat for fat breakdown and tightening skin. Best part, no downtime. After 30 minutes, you can return to your day. Come see how this revolutionary machine can help you get strong. Learn more at Float WYO or call 307-922-4212.
High Country Linen Service has grown with its state-of-the-art facility to be the premier rental service for linens, uniforms, and entry mats. High Country Linen also provides wholesale janitorial supplies, paper products, and earth-friendly cleaning supplies to Jackson Hole, Teton Valley, and beyond. Call 733-2638 or come see us at 355 North Glenwood. On the web at highcountrylinen.com.
You're watching and listening to live coverage of Jackson Hole High School sports on KZ95.
Back to the second half of the Willie T. Mac. For Jackson Hole Radio, Jake Nichols, Marie Kane bringing you all the action. Week 0 high school football across the state underway. And a beautiful night in Jackson to do it.
Yeah, it really is like the perfect night. I was driving over the pass and there was a bunch of rain clouds down over there, and I was like, oh no, but looking good.
They didn't get to us. There's a kickoff, and I think Teton trying to keep it away. Well, maybe it just went off the side of Chavez's foot. That's his first bad kick really of the night. It goes out of bounds. That'll add yardage to where it went out, which was around the 20. Jackson will have decent field position to take over on their first possession. Teton, I think they scored every time they touched the ball in the first half.
They did.
Oh boy.
That would make sense.
So yeah,
so they touched
need
it
to stop
5 times.
Oh, the fumble with Roosevelt was the only time when Roosevelt fumbled on that first play from scrimmage with.
Yes. And then the Bronx recovered it, but couldn't bring anything out of that recovery. But we'll see how the halftime did them. Hopefully they're coming out with a new mindset.
1st and 10 from their own 35. They give it straight ahead. Thomas May has 3. 2nd and 7.
I like that.
Keeping it simple, yeah. Gives your offense a chance to just get off the ball and go hit somebody right away.
Mm-hmm. This is what I was wanting. To be a first half, do that, and then maybe a little Seb runner slant, Hannah, I'm tall and I can catch it over you type of play coming after that.
Hannah's really impressed me. He's looks worlds different than last year. Snap to Ward. He's going to keep it right side. Really nice fake. Ward into open field across the 50 to the 47-yard line of the Timberwolves, and a nice run by Harrison Ward. That's a run design all the way.
I wonder if that was a, oh no, our pocket keeps collapsing. We give you.
Could be.
Here's a play where you can run it.
Something that they saw right next door to us upstairs, and they said, let's get the ball. Let's run.
Yeah.
With Ward, he's got legs.
Looking good. He's looking good on the, handoff. He's looking good on the pass. He's looking good on the run.
Two receivers, twin set left and right for Jackson. First down to the T-Town 47. The handoff straight ahead going nowhere. May is met in the backfield, and that'll lose 3 yards.
Yep. May chasing after the ball again. Just like how we started the first half.
Yeah, a little delay handoff again, designed to kind of keep that heat off of Ward, but that time the heat just said, all right, May's got it instead of the quarterback. We'll go get him.
Yep.
Again, twins to the right, Brunner, along with Tyson Kendall to the right side. Two receivers left, May in the backfield with the ball.
Hannah is on the sideline.
Snap, looking to throw, rolling right, buys himself time. Got a man wide open in the seam. It's caught. And it's Kendall Ward, or Kendall.
Who is that?
The other Kendall kid, right? Tyson
I believe
Kendall?
so, yes. I believe that's a 6.
Nice catch by Tyson Kendall. He ran that little seam route in between that zone coverage, and Harrison Ward with the ball right on him. Big gainer all the way down to Teton 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still wondering why Hannah's over there on the sideline. Interesting.
Snap to Ward, and he does hand it off to May, and again, he's contacted right away at the line of scrimmage. Nothing to it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think that Teton's defensive line went to the halftime, and they're like, oh, we're really good at putting pressure on them. So I think any form of run is going to be a little difficult.
Yeah, that Timberwolf defensive line has also been impressive. We've called out their offense, but they've been really good all night. Harrison Ward with a 2nd and 11. Back to throw all the way. Wants a man again.
Nice.
That Seth Brunner with a catch is knocked down at the 11-yard line. It'll be a 1st down. Brunner's going to wait till he gets yanked up by, well, he's going to wait longer as he's not
he's
feeling real good. He got an offer of assistance from Connor Egbert, who tried to pull him up.
Don't try and run off the field.
And Brunner's going to come off with an issue.
Oh, man. That's not good.
1st down for Jackson.
Hopefully it's just a cramp. But he is laying down, collapsed down on the sideline.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully he's okay. That's a big piece missing.
Along with Hannah, who's now that snap over the head of quarterback Harrison Ward. It's recovered by Teton. Initially, did Ward fight to get it back?
He did. He ended up with it.
Okay, boy, that was scary. It looked like for a moment he had lost the...
Jackson Hatch is the one that lost that. And then kind of grabbed and tweaked Ward's leg a little bit after he had recovered it. A very physical Teton team.
I didn't see that, yeah.
Seb being looked at by the trainer.
2nd and a mile now for the Bronx after that high snap, and those miscues expected in the early season have been costly for Jackson. Ward looks over to get the play call from White. He's got 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. He wants to throw, looking far side, rolling to his right now. Has time, fires, looking long into coverage, and it's intercepted. Joker Joyce will come up with it in the end zone.
It was a nice interception, as much as that's against, Jackson, but...
Yeah, Joyce has just been playing that deep center field safety spot, and that time it paid off. He was just waiting for it and makes the pick. So a turnover, Jackson, with 8:08 to go in the 3rd. Jackson down 34-7. Had a promising drive there for a minute, even with Hannah on the sidelines.
Yeah,
Seb gets hurt, then
I think Hannah's in there now.
All right.
I don't see anybody standing super tall on the sideline. But
yeah, I see Hannah's at the right defensive end.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see him.
1st and 10. T-Town, Jack Joyce in the backfield, along with Jack Nelson, who's gone all the way at quarterback. I believe that's still Nelson. Yep, fires far side, caught.
Make that tackle.
And a pickup of 5.
Seb is coming back into the game and on his feet. So that's good.
Yeah.
Very good
I
for
think you
Jackson.
called it with the cramp, I think.
Yeah, I think he just got tweaked a little bit. He was down at first, but I thought he was just waiting for someone to come help him, and then Teton player helped him up, and he went back down.
Yeah. Fake hand up to Joyce coming near side, and nice tackle. Taking the legs out from under the receiver.
Tyson Kendall.
Tyson Brown with the catch. Tyson Kendall with a nice tackle.
Battle of the Tysons.
Battle of the Tysons on a Battle of the Tetons tonight. It'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the T-Wolves. Nelson gets the shotgun snap, gives to Joyce left side. Not a whole lot of running room, and he did not get there. Now he lost the handle.
Recovered by Jackson.
And the Jackson Bronx will pick up the loose change.
Cameron Kendall with the recovery.
Wow. They were trying to run over there on Hannah's side, and he held up that right side of the Jackson defensive line.
Who's out there? I was scanning briefly and didn't happen to catch a 12.
Yeah, they might be giving him a blow. He's not out. He's out there now on defense, but he might not have been. I mean, Jack Joyce is a pretty good running back, and they want to give him a lot of reps as well, but he found little room over that left side. 1st and 10, Jackson on the turnover. Both teams now have coughed it up in the 3rd. Jackson with a pick. Fumble by Teton. Snap to Ward. Wants to throw. Fires right side. Got a man knocked out of bounds. Not much there. Roosevelt gives Seb a rude push out of bounds. Pickup of 3.
But he's, still out there. That's good. It's always that first hit after coming to the sideline where it's like, But he seems to be all right.
2nd and 7. For the Bronx, they want to stick it in the end zone. They've scored once in the first half. A beautiful long ball to Seb Brunner. Do they have another touchdown in them? 2nd down. Ward looks over the defense. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Ball on the right hash at the Teton 22. Ward wants to throw. Looking for Hannah over the top.
Pass interference maybe on that one.
Going to draw pass interference on Tyson Brown, I believe.
I like that call.
Tyson Brown with a few guys that could just about match up with Hannah. Tyson Brown goes 6'4", Hannah 6'7", but that time Brown just reached over the back of Hannah and it's going to draw the PI.
That's another difficult thing for people opposing Hannah, is wanting to get up there with him without drawing that pass interference, because if you go up there, you're going to catch an arm every time pretty much.
Hannah's going to make his catches, and he's going to draw a bunch of laundry like he just did. You're right. It's kind of like basketball where you work him in the down low post. He's either going to get a layup or he's going to draw the fouls. But we know about Hannah's fouls, but the theory is one way or another, Hannah's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
He's just so hard to
100%.
guard.
I think it's great that he's really able to hold his own out there now, to where he is someone where they're like, we have to watch this kid.
Yeah, he's becoming a football player. Ward sets him up, gets the snap, gives straight ahead. No, Ward's going to keep it right side. This time Teton's ready for it. No gain. Not out of bounds. They'll keep the clock rolling here. Bring up 2nd and 10 as Ward could find nothing. That play worked earlier in the 3rd when that fake handoff, and he kept it around the right side. He had a lot of running room. That time, not so much.
Seems like one of those plays from the quarterback where once you do it once, they're aware that that is an option.
It's also more difficult to do it down here where the DBs are not off the ball as much. They're ready to get off their receivers and come get you.
Exactly.
It's just not a lot of room down here. Man in motion is Hannah. Ward again in the gun. Wants to throw over the middle. Wants Hannah, and he drew a
pass interference again, probably.
Wow.
There you go. It bounced off of his numbers, it looked like. But it doesn't matter if you got someone's arm around your shoulder.
He had 3 Timberwolves around him. Any one of the 3 could have been guilty of the pass interference, but it'll set Jackson up with another 1st and goal from in close.
That's one of the most frustrating penalties as a like the opposing team when you're getting PI called on you.
It's tough.
Especially here, there's no replays or anything like that. So
that was close. I mean, it was callable.
There was 3 guys all over Hannah. He's 6'7", got long limbs. I'm sure there was a hook somewhere in there.
All right.
but it's a question
Kane's got her zebras on. She's like, yes, flag is good.
Anything to help us out at this point.
Man in motion again is Hannah. We're looking for him over the middle, maybe. Here's Ward, wants to throw. No, he wants Brunner on that slant. And
it's Brunner on Roosevelt.
Either Brunner has it or Roosevelt does.
They're going to fight for it down there, those two.
They're going to say Roosevelt picked it off. Oh, my.
Seb's going to argue with the ref real quick.
Wow. That was Seb Brunner on the slant. Thomas Roosevelt read it all the way. Jackson bread and butter last year. Roosevelt was right on him. And in the tussle, either one of them, I think both of them had a hand on it when they went down, but Roosevelt had it when the refs came over to check. So
yeah, I wonder
tough.
If Roosevelt in the wrestling world or is he in the basketball world? Do those two match up in basketball?
He's basketball for sure. Him and his brother, and they're good three-point shooters.
Yeah, there's definitely a little. Those two probably know each other quite well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They've met on the basketball court.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You're so close.
That Roosevelt family, so athletic over
all
the hill.
And yeah. I mean, I remember even the grade above me. Yeah. One of the Roosevelts was just one of those key players on football and basketball as well.
Nelson gives to Jack Joyce left side, and again, that left side stand up strong.
Yeah.
May is there. And
Roosevelt is there. He was on the outside.
Hannah's there.
So those kind of situations, as soon as the ball is not in number 12's hand, Jackson needs to take that into consideration, and they really need to take advantage of that.
Roosevelt coming down the bottom of your screen, part of that trips package here to the right, and he's going to get that quick wide receiver screen, and that is blown up.
What was that?
Nice play there.
Oh, little Jordan number, David Brown.
David Brown, recognize that. That play's been working all night for T-Top, but not that time. David Brown said, I've seen enough of it.
He said, I remember what we talked about in the locker room, and that was number 12.
Said, get 12. That's easy. I can remember that. They're in that same package. We'll see if they go there again. Yeah, Nelson sets him up. This time, Jack Nelson looking long, left side, got a man, caught, first down.
Wow.
And a nice catch there by Tyson Brown, who went down to get it. He was guarded well.
He was.
Cameron Kendall was in the vicinity.
Yeah, Brunner was running across too. If he was a couple milliseconds faster, he might have been able to bring that in. That was a nice pass, though.
That
was very
well thrown.
fast.
Only Tyson Brown could get it. Yeah,
right to the numbers.
Hand off Jack Joyce, left side again. There's nothing there on the left side. And Andrew Hanna partly responsibly plays that right defensive end. Joy, if you're going to give it to Joyce, I would let him try the other side of the line. That left tackle run is not happening.
Yeah, let's put Teton and just put Roosevelt back in the backfield for a second.
Roosevelt split wide to the right here, bottom of your screen. Nelson with Joyce in the backfield.
It's covered by Tyson Kendall.
Wants to throw, rolling right, has time, downfield.
Picked out by Seth Brunner.
Seth Brunner with the interception, and Jackson has the ball.
There's the pick he wanted earlier.
Nelson was looking for Burke Nelson, the junior. Looked like he might have had a step on Brunner, but Seb was just baiting him and stepped in and took it away. Nice interception, Jackson ball. And back and forth we go as play getting a little sloppy in the second half as far as turnovers.
This is one of those situations where you come out at half, just pretend the score is 0 and see what kind of good moments you can make as a Jackson team. Just make sure to get in the rhythm, and I think that we can kind of see that they're doing that. It could be in hand to Roosevelt not being in as much possession of the ball, but that could be due to the Jackson defense.
Yeah, so, Jackson's defense has gotten better.
They have, for sure.
They've toughened up a little. Even if Roosevelt's running those plays, I just didn't see a lot there for Jenkins
I think it was a lot of just, all right, Jenkins and Roosevelt. Get them on the ground.
To go in the third. Jackson down 34-7. They have the ball after the Brunner pick.
Hannah on the sideline again.
At the 49 of T-time. Give is to May, right side. Got
Nice
some
little
running
stiff
room.
arm.
Gets away from a few guys, but up to make a big tackle is again Roosevelt.
He's hurt.
And a pickup of
just
2 or
kidding.
3. May got hit right in the ribs by Thomas Roosevelt.
Yeah, he was limping a little. Got up immediately. That was he's down on
He
the
comes
sideline.
off. He was hurt a lot of last year.
I'm really hoping that's not a knee, because that's kind of what it looked like it could be.
Roosevelt got him. It looked above the waist. Hit him pretty hard, but I didn't see anybody really get him below the legs. Here's
He
second and
got at the waist.
8 now for the Bronx. Harrison Ward to throw over the middle. And an almost catch there by Cameron Kendall. He made a nice dive for it on the coverage again. Is that Max Atchley? He's been targeted a few times. A few times he's given it up. A few times he's made a play, but he's been busy for T-Town. That was a decent pass. Cameron almost came up with it. 3rd and 8 now for the Bronx in Teton territory. So far in the third, both teams just can't give it away fast enough. Ward, he's going to throw, has time, right side, got a man, Broner, and it's just over his head, and a late flag. Roosevelt can't believe it.
Roosevelt.
And that wasn't much. Roosevelt's got an argument, but that's going to move the sticks for the Bronx if that's what it is.
Hopefully a cramp on May as well. He's getting his back of his leg kind of tapped out and his knee bent up a little bit by the athletic trainer.
And they will march this off against Teton. There wasn't a lot of contact. The ball was overthrown, I guess, possibly catchable.
Yeah, that's one of those situations.
But, that's tough. And the refs need a week 0 as well.
Yep.
1st and 10 Jackson. They'll
Difficult
take it.
too. I mean, it's 34-7, so 3 minutes left in the third. A lot of factors could play into that.
Harrison Ward fakes the handoff, going to keep it himself.
Nice. It was Ward.
Ward gets down to the 20. Yeah, nice fake handoff. That's one of those wait and see. Tucks it in the belly of May and set up.
I liked that. I wasn't really expecting to be this impressed with his run game as a quarterback, but he's able to make things happen on his legs, and I think that that's extremely beneficial, especially when you have a high school receiving core where they can't necessarily pull in every slightly overpass, stuff like that.
Yeah. Snap the board. He's looking long into the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Almost had it. Who was that? Seb, possibly?
Trying to see
I believe.
it's over there where the lights don't cover real well.
I can't tell if there's one number.
It looks like Seb jogging back. That's his jog, I believe.
Seb, would you move your arm? No, that is Seb.
Intended for Brunner on that right side. Hannah checks in.
Had his hands on it, but he was out of bounds anyways, slightly overthrown on that one. But that was for the best, because if it was any less thrown, interception probably. So
you got to put some air under that one. Either your guy gets it or nobody does.
Yeah, Coach
Ward
White
brings him up.
Nice and loud on the sideline.
Waylon Crosby in the backfield now, replacing May. Back to throw is Ward. He's going to try again. Right side wants Hannah. That's
There's
a pass
flag on that one too.
Or is that
PI again? I think that was Hannah. Yeah.
Looking for Hannah on that go route this time. Hannah drew double coverage, and one of the two Teton defenders got a hand on the big man. So that'll be a penalty.
May is getting up on the sideline. Looks to be okay, which is all that really matters, especially in this, semi-preseason game.
Yeah.
You don't want any of your key players
Very
getting
good
hurt.
news. Fresh set of downs for Jackson. 1st and 10. 1st and goals. They throw the sticks down now. 1st and goal from the 10. Bronx takeover on that right hash. Ward looking to throw. No, he's going to hand off. A little delayed handoff.
He's got it. Sacked again.
Not a lot of
he wasn't,
running room there.
They saw the run that time.
Did not fool anyone.
No.
2nd down and goal from the 10.
One of those situations. I think also it's pretty hard a lot of the time, especially right now, those handoffs Teton's got to know that May is on the sideline, so are they really handing it off if their RB1 is on the sideline?
True.
This close to the end zone? I don't know.
That's pretty observant, Marie. A lot more likely you're faking the handoff to RB2. We'll see. 2nd and goal from the 10. Ward in the gun again. This time he wants to throw right side, coming back for it and incomplete. There was some contact there, but
he was looking for Seb or if he was looking for whoever ran. Hannah was like kind of running in front of that. Once another one, just lucky that no one was there to pick it off.
I think Seb was supposed to come back for that ball at the pylon, and he was pretty well covered. There wasn't much there anyway. 3rd and goal from the 10 now for the Bronx, struggling to find a play that can work down here in the red zone.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Again, this is prime running territory, and the running back is on the sidelines.
Twin receivers left and right. One running back of the backfield to throw his Ward over the middle. Got a man. Couldn't hang on.
Now that I would maybe call pass interference, but they've called a lot of those, so I'm not sure. Got him kind of by the helmet.
Griffin Miller, I believe, the intended receiver, almost.
Yes, and it was Max Ashley with the breakup, I guess we can call it.
Nice play by Ashley. He's been on both ends of it, victimized and he's come up big. And 4th down, Jackson, no thought about this one. They're going 4th and goal from the 10.
I mean, this I'm trying to get it to Brunner, I would say.
Play action. Ward has time. Looking inside. Touchdown.
Nice. I'm glad they were able to finish that one.
Nicely done. As Ward with a fake handoff, rolled to his left, bought himself time.
He had all the space.
Gave Hannah time to run that route at the back end of the end zone. Hannah just got lost back there. And yes, he did. Ward bought himself a lot of time. He had plenty of time to make an accurate throw. He put it right on the money. Touchdown, Jackson. Extra point coming from Smock.
That was overall really nice. It looked like Ward, even if no one was open, he had some space to run too, which for him is really good.
Extra point is good. Jackson shaves a little off that score. 34-14 now.
Yeah, one at a time. Just kind of at this point, the game is still within reach in football terms, but I think also just taking your little wins and being able to learn from those is going to be what's on the forefront of Jackson's mind right now.
Big O scoreboard looking a lot happier if you're a Bronx fan. 34-14 on the Big O board. Ask Big O about their tire protection plan, available for a lifetime protection on your new Big O tire purchase. They're right there in the Target Plaza. Big O scoreboard showing a 20-point game now, but looking a lot better for Jackson and feeling better about what they've been able to do. Defense tightening up and the offense getting it done when they had to. I was wondering if maybe, too many tries added from the red zone, but they found a play that works, and maybe you tuck that one away. You circled that in the playbook if you're Coach White, and you said,
for sure.
Play to Hannah in the back of the end zone. He was open.
It was nice to see them be able to finish in the red zone again without May being in there, just because running backs are usually such a go-to when you're in the red zone like that. So it's definitely just a confidence booster, I'm sure, for Ward in that receiving situation. And Hannah, too. First touchdown of the season, I believe.
Yeah, that was pretty huge. And that kickback will not allow Thomas Roosevelt to touch it. The Jackson fans like that. Anytime 12 is denied the ball is a good thing. So T-Town will take over at their own 20, 80 yards to roll. 1:21 to go in the third. Jackson down 34-14 in the Battle of the T-Towns. That was the score, I believe, last year. Or pretty close to it, right?
Well, let's find out. 32-14.
For to end now, but
was the last one. But there's still more time where Jackson might be able to chip away at that a little bit.
Yeah, there's that quick wide receiver screen to Roosevelt. And this time he's got room down the right sidelines, knocked out of bounds right at the Jackson sidelines, just across the 35.
He went right into Ward, and he was just staring him down.
First down for Teton. There was more room that time without Brown there to blow it up. Roosevelt had the sidelines. First down, Teton, a little breathing room there at their own 35 now. Hand off to Joyce. This time he's coming right side. This time he's got a little bit more room before Barazane Company wrap him up. Pickup of 6, second of 4. The left side has been tough going for Jack, but
you got a problem with him? He's got a problem with you.
More room on the right side.
Yeah, there was Tyson Kendall getting a little bit of talking to from Jake Allen, Teton.
There's a pitch to Roosevelt. He slips one guy, 2 guys, and Roosevelt is off to the races. One guy to beat, and he does. Touchdown, missed tackles early were the only chance to get Roosevelt.
Yep.
And he is in.
Once again on that one, there were 5 Broncs running behind him. I would have liked to see more than one jump out to try and tackle him.
Yeah.
Just to give it that effort.
But Roosevelt's a lot faster than
and even then, if you catch a heel, he's probably going to keep going. But you never really know, so that's not good for Jackson, but again.
It's 2 big plays for Roosevelt where he's done it in a hurry. And it seemed he's done it both times when Jackson had a little bit of mole going their way, and then he's just a soul crusher. Oh, man. And it's 41-14 Teton with a PAT gut. Yeah, well, I talked about how fast Jack Jenkins is, and that's a lot of that was talking to his or Jack Joyce.
Yeah, that was a
but that
was a tough little outcome on that rundown. But at this point, I'm just hoping that Jackson on offense can hold their own, moving down the field, and ideally answer, maybe not necessarily take the game back. It's a pretty big lead to cut down on in basically a quarter, but just be able to answer and even hang in there a little bit would be ideal.
That is not fair to have that much running back gifting. Thomas Roosevelt is really faster than I thought, and Jack Joyce I thought was the guy who's super fast. He probably is, but it's just been Roosevelt's night. Holy cow.
I think also Roosevelt is a senior and Jack Joyce is a junior. So that probably has a little bit to do with it. And from here, it looks like Roosevelt might be a little bit bigger.
Yes.
Too, but still super fast, which gives him that thing. They're going to run it. It was in the end zone.
Yeah, we're going to try to run it out. You got to work on stuff like that. I don't mind it. You get out to about the 20 where it would have been. Decent return there for Tyson Kendall of the Bronx. He took that a couple of yards deep in the end zone and gave it a shot.
A yard or so back there. At this point, you might as well just kind of get as much practice as you can on all fronts.
From opening kickoff, it's been Teton's game. Jackson's had glimpses of showing us things, but Teton's been the tougher team so far tonight. Jackson gets a chance to get that offense out there again. 1st and 10 is this will probably be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
It's definitely 15 seconds on the play clock.
Hannah in motion, and the snap to give is to going nowhere.
There was
loss of a few.
That was to Seb, I believe. Haven't seen him run it, I don't think, yet today.
No running room at all. Then it'll bring up 2nd and long as the horn sounds. We'll take the break as well. We'll come back. It'll be 4th quarter. You're enjoying Bronx football on KZ95 and the Jackson Hole Radio Network.
High Country Linen Service has grown with its state-of-the-art facility to be the premier rental service for linens, uniforms, and entry mats. High Country Linen also provides wholesale janitorial supplies, paper products, and earth-friendly cleaning supplies to Jackson Hole, Teton Valley, and beyond. Call 733-2638 or come see us at 355 North Glenwood. On the web at highcountrylinen.com.
Here's your voice of the Jackson Bronx, Jake Nichols on KZ95.
Back to the MAC to start the fourth for Jackson Hole Radio. Jake Nichols, Marie Kane. We got her just this one time, 1 week.
Well, I do think I might be here for a couple basketball games.
Oh, don't say.
If I remember correctly, there's a couple on there.
That would be awesome.
I love it. It's so nice. It's so fun going back to my high school and like seeing everybody. I still know a couple players from my basketball days and friends and stuff like that. So another high snap. They love the high snap.
Yeah.
Oof,
now
down again.
God, no man's land is Ward after the high snap. Timing thrown off on that play. It's going to bring up third and long as he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's tough. Once again, just not much help he's got there from the O-line when they collapse like that. There's really nowhere for him to go except for right into it, and a lot of the times that doesn't work. It's a tough situation.
Yeah, Jackson's been able to do a few things to keep the rush off his back, but anymore now having to throw, although they look like they're rushing just 3 here, so maybe Ward will have time. They do rush only 3. Ward throws, got Brunner on that slant. Nice catch.
Yeah, he did a little step out to get away from that first tackle.
Yeah.
Get him an extra yard or so.
Picked up about 8. It'll still be well short of the first down.
He's limping again, though.
You're going to have to punt this.
I think he probably pulled something. His hamstring, probably.
Yeah, earlier. And
yeah. And speaking of injuries and pulled hamstrings, I wonder where May is. He is... Can't see, which is not ideal. Hopefully he's out there, at least on the sideline somewhere. Let's see if I can see him. It looks like they're pulling varsity out.
Could be.
Maybe.
Could be. Now that we start the fourth, could be
Looks
seeing
like
a lot of new faces.
Yeah, a whole new little set of people ran out there, but I don't know for sure, so wouldn't take my word for it.
Jackson facing a punting situation, 4th and 6. Backed up at the shadow of their own goalpost with 10:54 just underway in the 4th. It's Teton rolling behind Thomas Roosevelt, who's done it with his legs. He's been a one-man gang, but Jackson has had a couple touchdowns, nice touchdown throws from their new transfer quarterback, Harrison Ward, who's hit Brunner on a go route early in the first half. And then a nice touchdown pass to Andrew Hanna, who we've noted is just looking like a different kind of guy. We always knew he could play basketball. He's looking like a footballer.
Yeah, he is.
He's had a good night.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what Jackson should be taking away from this, not necessarily the score on the scoreboard, but the good things that are coming out of this, knowing that, you know, your players can play together with a new quarterback coming in, which is always, you know, a difficult situation. Seb being worked on the sideline by the athletic trainer.
Yeah, and looked like Ward had his helmet off. This punt's a pretty good one. Roosevelt's not going to handle it. Jackson let it roll and down it at the 42 of the Timberwolves. Teton will take over 1st and 10.
Thinking at this point, just might as well probably pull Seb out. He's not one of the players that you can risk actually fully injuring out there, and he's getting a lot of action when he is out there, which is rightly deserved, but that also means he's getting a lot of contact, which is not too ideal. I do think May is back in there. Haven't seen him on the sideline in a while.
Nelson is out at wide receiver. Now Nelson has it back on a trick play and wide open down the field is Tyson Brown, and he dropped it. Oh, Jackson caught a break there.
Wow, yeah, they did. That was fell right into his lap.
Yeah, he was open. And a trick play on there. You know, Coach Joyce, when he was here in Jackson, liked to do one time a game, he liked to have a trick play like that, no matter what. And no matter what means even if he's up 41-14. And I was wondering why the quarterback was lined up at the wide receiver spot. That's why he eventually got the ball, threw it to Tyson Brown, and that should have been a touchdown, but Brown dropped it. Nelson wants to throw. Pocket starts to deteriorate. Down he goes.
Based on some rhetoric from the crowd, I believe that is Jackson's first sack. And that was, I think, Andrew Hanna on the sack, actually.
It'll bring up 3rd and 17 for Teton, who they're continuing to play the starters. Jack Joyce out there, Nelson at quarterback. Don't see Roosevelt, but Tyson Brown. There's Roosevelt coming to the bottom of the screen here. So all their starters are in with a big lead.
I wouldn't be surprised if when it hits 5 and lower, we start seeing some
Nelson to throw. He's got Tyson Brown over the middle, but he wants instead Roosevelt right on the money to him. And Roosevelt's down to the 35. First down, Teton. Boy, you had Brown as well deep over the middle, but he cleared room for Roosevelt, and that seems to be where Nelson's eyes go every time he drops back.
It's Tyson Kendall and Thomas May on the tackle. Seb Brunner back out on. He's good to be back out on the field, but he has not been subbed in yet. There was a bit of confusion there for a second.
Handoff straight ahead to Joyce. Not a lot of room. He does break one tackle, but nothing more after that. Got a yard. 2nd and 9.
Yeah, it's once again, those kind of situations when it's not in the hand of 12 where Jackson's just going to need to take advantage of that.
Joyce has not had near the night Roosevelt has had. Nelson's been good throwing, though. At quarterback, there's a lot of good things to work on if you're Teton. It's beginning with number 12. Here's the snap and the give to number 12. Roosevelt working left side, and this time he's met with a host of tacklers. Picked up maybe one. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Looks like that was eventually Colin Pape with the tackle. Seb Brunner is back in the game as well.
Good.
Hanging out in the back, way back in the back.
3rd and 8 or 9 now for Teton. We'll see if they look for Brown or Roosevelt. Snap. Nelson wants to throw. Looks Brown's way, but he's going to dump off to Roosevelt. And not near enough for a first up. By the way, he breaks a tackle and works his way back toward the middle. Roosevelt just
finally.
A bear to bring down. I thought he was out of bounds here, well short of the first down, but he just did not give up. And he's got a first down.
Tyson Kendall is now being looked at by the athletic trainer on Jackson's sideline. A lot of the time it's just, a cramp or a pull, and you just kind of got to take some time out and stretch it out. Especially first game of the season, there's a lot of rust. It's a very physical game.
Yeah. Brown and Roosevelt on the left side, but it's going to be Joyce running right. He's got blockers out front. He's down to the 15, inside the 10, rolls around to the 10. First down run for Joyce. Yeah, and he had blockers out in front of him.
Some missed tackle, sort of. A little bit of a just behind him tackle by, I believe, Seb Brunner.
1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. It would be possible to get a first down without a touchdown. Snap to Nelson. Hands off again to Joyce right. No, he's going to keep it. Taking himself up the middle. Nothing.
As a Jackson person, they like that play call.
Yeah, and that was the exact same play, only this time Nelson did not keep it in the belly of Joyce. He kept it himself, and maybe he wonders, maybe I should have gave that up.
Yep. This is one of those situations where would be a huge stop by Jackson's defense if they can pull this out.
Definitely. Be a morale booster. Nelson to throw. Wants end zone. It's got Tyson Brown caught. Touchdown.
He was covered, but it's just kind of difficult down there once you're in the end zone.
Yeah.
Trying to cover without pulling that pass interference, especially with this ref group. from what we've seen, that's
you're one-on-one. You're Cameron Kendall.
Yep.
Kendall 5'9" against Tyson Brown 6'4", and against the mismatch that Hannah's been exploiting all night for Jackson. It's another one there. Ball well thrown. Nothing Kendall could do.
Either way, probably that's either PI or they're going to get the, they missed the extra point.
Yeah.
Kicker kind of hesitated and then just kind of gave it a tap, if you will, up into the end zone.
So the missed PAT, it's 47-14 with 6:44 to go in the fourth. Jackson has never really been in this one. Had an idea that this was going to be Teton's year. We knew they had a really good team. A lot of question marks about Jackson ever since White took over and Sadler and Hassanek and all those guys left. Like, what kind of team would this be? It was an interesting year last year. I think they played a little bit better than we thought. This year, I think they're capable of the same kind of thing.
I agree.
Just not tonight.
I remember towards the end of the football season, I was like, I'll check in, see where they're at. And they were doing better than I kind of expected them to. I remember when my grade was leaving, it was very like doomsday.
Yeah, you took everybody with you.
I mean, Joyce left. Everyone in my grade graduated.
Yeah.
It was a difficult situation. So I'm glad to see that the football program is alive and well, and they are playing pretty well.
Yeah, and Coach White said there was a good turnout. He said he had some 80 kids from freshman, JV, and varsity. Like,
I heard that.
Got a lot of kids that are playing football that were doing other things before or just not playing. So that's a positive sign for the future. Chavez walks off his run here, and he'll put a foot into it with a kickoff. Boots one deep, and May does not want it. It's over his head through the end zone and touch it back. Jackson will take over their own 20.
Tyson Kendall is still being looked at by the athletic trainer. It looks like they're working on his lower back.
Tyson's the number 6, Kendall, right?
Yes.
Or is he? Okay. Yeah, I've liked him and what limited stuff we saw of him.
I agree. Again, hopefully it's nothing too serious. Again, that kind of lower back area, hips kind of situation. So maybe it's just like I put the pads on and I'm in the helmet for a long time and my back hurts.
Yeah.
That's my ideal situation with that.
It hurts more when you look at the big old scoreboard, 47-14. That's not fun.
He's facing it too.
Yeah.
He's got nothing else to look at.
To throw his board, has time, got a man wide open, and just thrown behind him. Roosevelt was coming up to make a bomb of a hit. Thank goodness.
That was Beckett Maher.
Did not connect. Beckett Maher had a shot at it, but he might have heard footsteps, and Roosevelt was coming like a train.
Yeah. He was like, all the people that have been hit by him seem to take a seat with our athletic trainer. I don't know that I want that.
I don't wonder if Ward did not throw a more accurate ball for him to run under, seeing 12 at the last minute coming. He might have tried to lay that on the back shoulder of Maher intentionally. Here's Ward again.
Seb.
There's that slant to Seb. It's good for 9, very near the first down. They may give it to him as Brunner. Nobody runs that.
Oh, they're moving
little
first
slant
down
better
for
than him.
Seb.
First down for Seb. They'll give it to him.
Nice.
Brunner and Hannah back out there. That's good to see. Brunner split to the bottom of your screen. Hannah will go to the left side with 2 other receivers, 3 on that side. As Ward gets the snap, he wants to throw, has time with a 3-man rush, looking for Hannah, and he can't make the play. And a good job of breaking that up.
In the backfield, flag was thrown.
It was a really good job in the secondary by number 8, and I don't have an 8 at all anywhere. It's a good play to break that up, though.
Yeah, it was, and I think also it was pretty smart on Hannah's front too. You kind of saw him not fully kind of put his hands up sort of to make sure that there wasn't a interception also.
Yeah.
And they're moving very far forward, the sticks. So I'm not sure
15 on Teton, and I don't know what that was either.
I have no idea what that was, but it benefited Jackson, so I just can't imagine what it would have been in the backfield. There was no Teton players back there.
Hitting the quarterback late after
yeah,
the
that's
throw.
the only thing I
maybe.
could have thought of.
Quick swing out pass here. It's good for 3. That's all. Well, a little second effort, maybe 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, it had to have been a late hit on the quarterback, some sort of personal foul situation to move it 15 yards too. That's.
May looks like he wants to check back in, but he needs to bring a play from Coach White. Or maybe White's telling him you can't go back in.
Tyson Kendall still hasn't moved and is still being looked at by the athletic trainer. It's not a good sign for him. They're moving it again.
Another
what happened
penalty
this time?
on Teton. I don't know what
moving
that was
it quite
either.
a bit too. What was that?
Jackson first down was 6 and counting now at the Teton 36-yard line, and doing their best ball movement here by the referees. I'm not sure what these calls are. Snap to Ward. He wants to throw. Has time. Coming near side.
Nice.
Caught by Hannah. Wiggles away from 2 guys inside the 20 to the 19.
Those are the kind of plays that I like to see him start doing, where he can break a tackle and keep it moving.
He's a big guy. 6'7", 205. That time he used the 205 worth of it.
He did.
And broke tackles to get some extra yards after the catch. Here's Ward working
Looks
quickly.
like he's looking for him again.
End zone. That hit the back of that mysterious number 8. Looking for May. 8 never turned around, but he was in good coverage and a big crowd there around Hannah. It was Hannah, the intended receiver.
Yes, it was. I think that's one of the things I've seen where it's kind of like, we target Hannah again. We target Seb again. Instead of kind of
You'd rather
switching
mix it up,
yes. Because that's both times they've tried to do that I can remember noticing it.
Right.
They've been double teamed the second time. So
yes, it doesn't take long for defense to pick up
especially
on
this Teton defense. They're relentless.
And 10. Again, time to throw, just a 2-man rush, end zone.
Yeah, double teamed again down there.
That's over the top of Hannah. Yeah, he had a lot of folks on him in the end zone. Teton's only rushing 2 or 3. They're leaving a lot of time for Harrison Ward to work, but he just has nobody open. Everybody's double covered. 5:24. The clock stops here in the 4th. Jackson down 47-14 to Teton, trying to add maybe a 3rd touchdown to the game here. Little feel good.
I was going to be like, this has been a great drive by Jackson. And then I remembered that half of it was penalties, which is still great by Jackson. Draw those penalties.
30 yards and penalties. That works.
It'll do.
May in the backfield now in motion is that Maher, the 22. Ooh, almost a bad snap.
I think that's the elusive 22.
Ward gets it. Long ball looking for Brunner, and he caught it, but he's pushed out of bounds. Had Brunner come down in bounds, that was a touchdown catch, but a good job to shove him out of bounds. Joker Joyce.
And I think one of those
saved
things.
the TD.
Seb's looking a little like annoyed with himself almost, and like, oh, I should have brought that in, but just making that catch.
Oh yeah, it was a good throw.
Gotta remember
good catch.
that. You just happen to be pushed out of bounds. There's not much you can do in that situation.
No.
So.
Good play by Joyce to recognize all he's got to do is shove Brunner out of there.
Yeah, again, nice pass by Ward, too.
Yes.
Right, it hit him if he was just like a foot closer.
Really good pass.
Yeah, I've really liked what I've seen out of Ward.
4th down. Ward's got to connect here, or they turn it over to Teton. May in the backfield with Ward. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Snap. Ward looking to throw. Wants Hannah. Fires. That's underthrown and picked off.
I think that might be Roosevelt. It is.
That is Thomas Roosevelt, and he's just going to have a little running.
Yeah, he's got. Oh, he's going to sit at the 30.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to bring 5 minutes left.
That pass well underthrown, intended for Hannah, and I don't see anybody really get a hand on it, so I think it was just underthrown, and Roosevelt just run under it,
Yeah, I
picked it
couldn't
off
quite
easily.
tell who it was, but sprinting down the field, moving out of the way of everybody, I was like, that looks like a Roosevelt run. and it was.
Feels like 12. What are they saying now?
Smells like 12. Exactly. It's interesting. I wonder who's. Let's see if quite know if they're bringing out some other players.
I think they're walking that whole play back. That's Teton's defense back out there. The
Was
Jackson
there another
offense.
penalty flag?
I don't know what happened, but
Jackson's defense is
Jackson
back
get
out
another
there.
crack at it. First down. Maybe they call pass interference again. That's the only thing that would give Jackson the first down. First and goal from just inside the 10 for the Bronx. Now timeout.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a flag back there because I was watching Roosevelt, as I'm sure we all were. So
yeah,
didn't quite see if there was a little yellow piece of cloth back there.
I did not see it, but that's the only thing that could have erased the pick and given Jackson a first down.
Yeah,
that's
for
the
sure.
thing. You know, the automatic first down with the pass interference. No other penalty does that. It's
yikes.
So
This has been an
Jackson will get
interesting
another
play.
crack. They've been in the red zone a bunch. Only passing touchdowns so far. Do you think they can run it in from here, Marie, or not really? May, I don't know if he's back to 100%.
Yeah, I think that if they run that kind of turn away where Ward turns and goes the opposite direction of the fake handoff, he might be able to run it in.
I like that play. Yeah, you're right.
Or even like it's just hard because your speediest guys are kind of. I personally don't want them to be getting any contact right now. So
they might be nicked up, and you really want
to May
risk
or short
it.
pass to Seb. Don't necessarily want to risk that, but those would be the two guys that would also be able to run it in.
A little over 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Jackson really can't make a game of this, but would love to score their third TD of the night. Feel a little better as Ward brings him up. He's got May off his left hip. Now Brunner's going to come to take the Wildcat snap. And he'll switch places with Ward. Brunner gets the snap, gives. No, he wants to keep it himself. Nothing there, though. Seb is piled up.
I don't know that I like that play that much.
I mean, Seb running, but if you can get him outside the hash, you know, he's not going to do anything. He's not going to move a pile in there.
I'm also not liking. Okay, I saw a little one pop up. I wasn't liking how slow the whole pile was getting up.
So the one pop up.
He's walking a little weird again. It's exactly what I didn't want to happen.
Is this another penalty?
Oh, man.
It is, and it's another first down for Jackson. So it would have been 2nd and 9. It's now 1st and 9.
Yeah.
Another first down for Jackson from just inside the 10.
Am not a fan of Wildcat.
No.
It worked when it became a thing. But now, as soon as you see someone else, you know what's happening. So it's like, unless you
You're
have
not faking anybody with a Wildcat.
Yeah.
Here's May, left side. He's got a tackler chasing him, but he does put his head down. He gets a few. He's to the 5, pick up a 4. 2nd and goal from the 5.
I would have liked, I don't necessarily mind Seb taking the snap and throwing it because he can do that. I do believe he played quarterback.
Yep. If he was prepared to play QB this year, if not for that transfer. So, yeah, you're right. He could throw it.
Yeah, I like that, especially right now as he is a little bit, as long as he's been getting reps, a little bit of throwing action. I do like that while he is a little bit
that'd be fun. I mean, if you were ever going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Keep him back there and protect him a little bit, too. He's out there on the edge, though.
Ward fakes to May. Wants to throw. Got a man wide open. Dropped.
Oh.
And that incomplete, little rough stuff after the play.
Yeah, that was
Castano was upset that he didn't hang on to that, and he.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't said his name in a little bit.
No, he's in on tackles that we probably don't see him on the bottom of the pile, but offensively he's not in there a lot. He'll play a little fullback, a little of that, little tight end.
I kind of, based on what I've seen with him on offense, I do wish we saw him more on offense. I think if you had Brunner, May, Ward, Hannah, Castino, you've got a pretty good.
Yeah, those are some ballers.
Yeah, you've got people that are able to hold their own on the field.
Hard count draws Teton offsides, and that'll be yet another penalty in the red zone.
Wow. How many is that?
A lot.
Like 5?
It'll move half the distance of the goal. They'll get a couple of yards off. So 3rd and 2, 3rd and goal from about the 2. Jackson will reset again, probably call that same play.
Let's give it to May.
You like May on this?
I like May on
All
this.
right. I'm with that.
I'm not going a pass necessarily.
Me
but I'm
neither,
thinking,
because it gets too crowded down here. And
they also could be looking for the run, but
right,
I don't mind Ward running it in either.
May's in the
Fake it
backfield
to
behind
May,
Ward.
Have Ward spin around, running in the other way.
Handoff is to May. Straight ahead, moves the pile. He's down to the
Touchdown.
goal line. Touchdown. Reed Kane called the touchdown play. Thomas May made it happen.
Nice. I like that. It's good for him too. Kind of get that. His
That's when
spirits up.
normally in the NFL they would cut to the camera and the offensive coordinator would be you, Marie, and you'd be like, "Yeah, I called that play.
I did that."
Way to go, May. Yeah, Thomas just put his head down. Will not be denied. He's in. We'll see what the PAT does here. Is the guy we're assuming is Justin Smock is out there to bang it through. Brunner to hold. And the snap good, hold good, kick is good. And Jackson.
Nice. I like that.
21 points.
Despite the fact that it was pretty much all penalty. But, that's not necessarily, an easy way out. There were plays that were made. And at the end of the day, that's the defense's fault.
Yeah, and there was a ton of plays made in the like this team could have quit. They could have got down on themselves because how many cracks at it that they have here, down to the end zone, down to the other way, and they kept at it. They said, all right, there's got to be a play that puts us in the end zone. They found it, and if you take away Teton's 47, if you don't look at that and you say we played our opening week and we scored 3 touchdowns, 21 points.
Yep.
You feeling pretty good. All right, we could make it that a little better next week. Let's go for 4 touchdowns.
Yep.
But, defensively, so much of it tonight was Thomas Roosevelt. He had his way. Kickoff coming.
I think also, again, it's just probably pretty relieving in a sense for the coaching staff as well as the players to see that Ward can do it and can be that QB that they were hoping he would be.
We both recognize that was like the first series, and we looked at each other like, Ward's the guy. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
You found a quarterback.
Yeah.
Now get some more guys.
A lot of his playing actually does remind me quite a bit of Sadler.
He's got that arm. He's real good. He throws a nice ball, and he can run it if he has to.
I think he's around the same size, too, if I remember correctly. 6'2", 185. It's a nice sweet spot for a quarterback.
Yeah. That one's through the end zone. Roosevelt doesn't get a chance to touch it. Always a good thing. 1st and 10 for Teton with 3:17 to go in regulation. They lead at 47-21. Plenty of offense here if that's your thing. A lot of touchdowns. I'm surprised both teams have gone with the starters through the whole way. I guess, you really don't get much of a preseason, and it's a short regular season. I guess to know what you really have, you got to let your starters get reps.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some Teton JV come in here at the 2-minute warning.
Joyce still in the backfield, joined.
Yeah, that was Joyce's
quarterback Nelson.
That was Joyce's move a lot when he was here. I remember when we'd be up a lot, it would kind of turn into that.
Nelson to Tyson Brown makes the catch at the 40. And the ball comes out. Tyson Brown might have coughed it up. Still no signal from the referees yet.
Every single Jackson player is pointing to Jackson's end zone.
Referees. Jackson.
And the crowd loves that.
Yeah. Cameron Kendall wrestled it away from Tyson Brown.
That's pretty big. Still not necessarily within reach, but that brings it to like 30-ish. 47.
Yeah. And it's good to see Kendall, who is going to be your corner all year at 5'9". He's going to have to face guys that are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4".
Yep.
Tyson Brown got the better of him on an end zone touchdown catch. Tyson Brown caught that ball, but Cameron came back with that fumble recovery, just ripped it right out of Tyson Brown's arm. So Jackson with a football and the turnover and a chance to get a 4th touchdown tonight. Back to throw. Ward Ward fires right side, wants Brunner, but he stepped out of bounds. Incomplete. Brunner would have been out anyway.
Yeah, it was a little overthrown. But again, I believe it was Roosevelt. It's either Roosevelt or Max Ashley. Either way, that's a little scary. If he was any less overthrown, it would have been picked off. So.
Yeah, Ashley was there. Roosevelt was there, and that mysterious 22 all in the vicinity. 2nd and 10. Clock at 3:02. Stop now as Jackson tries for a 4th touchdown to make it a little more respectable. Ward brings them up. 2 receivers right, 2 left. May in the backfield to throw. May's going to help out with a little bit of a blitz. Meanwhile, Ward wiggles out of it and can't. Now he's going to still stay on his feet.
Free. Wow.
Breaking some tackles. Ward still going down to the 30-yard line.
He's still
crowd like that. That was all Harrison Ward.
I mean, I thought he was going to be brought down 10 yards ago. That'll be a first down for Jackson.
Boy, if you had a timeout left, you'd love to take it now because Ward is going to be out of gas.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But hopefully, hyping him up a little bit, crowd, maybe some adrenaline.
Ward went from a 2-yard sack to a first down run, and he did it all in slow motion.
He
broke about 100 tackles.
Pretty much a tackle from every single Teton player.
1st and 10 from the T-Wolf 30. Ward, 2 receivers left, 2 right, gets the snap. Hand off to May on a delay. No, Ward's going to keep it himself. Yeah, this time picks up a yard, and he lost the ball. Fumble. Oh, Teton ball. And Ward, I think that's a result of him just being out of gas.
Yeah, I think that was designed. It seemed like it. It was a fake handoff, so
yeah.
I don't like that play call that much.
Not if, I mean, after Ward just did what he did, he's so tired, and you call his number again.
Yeah, at that point, like
Marie, you talked about it, like going back to the well. Somehow the ball got out of his arms, and I can't blame him.
It was a first down. Just give it to May. Let him do the dirty work on that one.
Right. Teton ball, 2:22 to go. They're up 47-21. Have the ball at their own 30. All starters in. Tyson Brown split down bottom of your screen. Trips right. Nelson gets a snap. Gives to Joyce. Gets away from one tackler. Turns the corner. Now turns it up. Now turns it outside again. He's got a first down, and that's all. As he's stacked up out of bounds at the 40, an 11-yard scamper for RB2, and Joyce starting to rack up the numbers.
Robbie McCashland was that block that happened on that play that kind of allowed him to
good eye.
Allowed him to get those extra 4 or 5 yards.
Here's Roosevelt split to the bottom of your screen. Nelson, the handoff, is going to give to Joyce again. Stutter step at the line of scrimmage. He's got another 11 yards before he's dragged down, and you saw that burst of speed. He put one little miss at the line of scrimmage, and then he just burst.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. I think that's
midfield.
That's a lot of what we see from Joyce normally, is kind of like a explosive run like that. He usually doesn't get taken down at the line of scrimmage like he was being taken down earlier.
1st and 10 at the Jackson 48. Timberwolves running their 2-minute offense down to $1.50 now and counting. And up under center is Nelson for the first time. Both quarterbacks have taken nothing but shotgun snaps. So he's going to take this one from behind center, and they're going to just get in the victory formation and take a knee. That's why. No timeouts left on Whiteside. The board's showing 1, but I thought he was out. He's not going to stop the clock anyway. That'll do it here at the MAC.
Yep.
Fun game. There's been a lot to cheer about.
Yeah, it was definitely a great showing by Teton, and a very, I would still say, a pretty good showing by Jackson. I think that their defense needed to kind of kick in a little bit earlier, and there would have been a different situation. But I see a lot of things that I really do like.
Yeah. I mean, take away two Roosevelt big plays where he went the distance, and it's a closer game, and I know you can't do that in football. You can't just say, I'm taking these off the board. But he's a special kind of athlete, so you take two of those away, and it's a game, fun game. You got to clean up some mistakes, but otherwise, it's fun to watch anyway. A lot of touchdowns. Final, this one done, and we'll wrap it up here as well. The score, Teton 47, Jackson 21. That'll do it for us here in Jackson. Marie Kane, we got to have you back for basketball.
Yes,
please.
I believe there's a couple.
May there be a direct Chicago-Jackson flight this winter, I hope. And
I know.
whatever it takes, we need you back.
It's crazy. You guys don't have that many December games. I'm home for the entire month. You got to tell them to move the season.
We can make things happen. We'll try. For Jackson Hole Radio, Jake Nichols, Marie Kane. Anytime we get her on a broadcast, it's great. Once again, the final, T-Town 47, Jackson 21. Next week, Douglas, Friday. We'll be there. We'll see you there.